Well, ladies and gentlemen, look at this dude. This is some Bill Nye the Science Guy and his wife. Dude, this room is so hot. It's so hot. It is just... I heard Obama was speaking tonight.
Freedom, equality,
and we got this.
Puts us ahead and makes Oklahoma proud. We cast our 36 votes for Kamala Harris and Tim
Bill Clinton is speaking tomorrow night. Yeah, so someone told me in the chat Obama is speaking tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central. So that would be in about an hour and 10 minutes. They got some no-name from Oregon. Oh, this is where they're giving all the super delegates. It's the super delegates. This is so... I mean, she won 0 votes. She deserves this. But this is... You see what I'm saying when they... With these conventions, it's just...
The first state in the nation to hold a presidential election with all mail-in voting.
Yes, good evening. What a pause screen that was.
Protect voting rights.
Wait, the delegates are voting for Kamala, but nobody voted for her in... what a mess. Oh, man. What was my first job? It was at like a flower store. I think this could backfire with independents because they're sick of the Dem lies. What do you mean this? I mean, this is just the typical DNC, you know. What is this cringe shit, man? It's just funny. I mean, they're all voting for her, but nobody voted for her. Troll. What's the point of coming in, man? Do something better with your night, man. Come on.
My name is Mayor DeJuan Walker from the great city of Alsobrooks, Beaver County. My city, the city of...
What is the best nickname for Waltz? Buffoon, I think. He's a buffoon. He's a complete buffoon. That was what I settled on. Aren't you in Chicago? Wait, whatever happened to the protests? I didn't even hear anything about that today. The protests? Oh, there's Josh Shapiro. And I wasn't picked because I'm Jewish. And they didn't pick me because they hate... Did I vote for Brown? No, I didn't vote for Brown. Yo, you're right, though. Brown is loved for some reason. Huge protest turning into a riot. That's what everyone said yesterday. Can I be your next mod? You bet. Andrew, I haven't seen you. Are you on all the streams? 50K views. What, on my RFK video? Yeah, my RFK video did pretty well. I got the RFK thing correct. I knew he was going to endorse Trump. It's a big prediction. I mean, it seems like they're just doing the delegates. It's going to be boring until Obama comes out. Obama, I don't know. Anyone else speaking tonight? Oh, Bernie Sanders, I heard, was speaking tonight as well.
You know, Kamala Harris has been an advocate and a champion for reproductive freedom her entire career. She's been the main voice for this administration. Really,
she's been the main voice. I thought she was trying to distance herself from the administration.
To the jobs crisis. So in many ways, she's the perfect messenger. I will say, Joe Biden, the beauty of Joe Biden.
I'm on every single stream. All right, man.
Can evolve and grow to meet the moment. So we are so grateful for what he did and where he evolved to on this issue. But yeah, Kamala Harris.
I think I added the correct person.
And energy,
hopefully.
Long-time career commitment that really
When is Obama speaking? 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central.
We heard from some women who have dealt with
Big Mike is speaking too?
the impact of
Really?
abortion restrictions in their
Schumer is speaking? Oh, God.
in the years since
Not the
since
roach.
jobs. And also,
The cockroach himself.
do you think that it is
Will we get a Big Mike speech? I think it's coming up.
election cycle as it was for some voters
Schumer.
in 2020?
So the women you heard from last night, they're heroes.
Oh,
Nobody
man.
should have to come to an arena like this.
So dependable. That's good, man. Yeah, we got. I think we've got like 7 mods at this point.
And tell America about how they almost died.
We've got a lot of mods.
So these stories, there's
We've got a lot of
hundreds
protection.
of
Yes.
stories of women who you'll never meet, who've suffered.
Well, I actually haven't looked on X in a little while, so maybe there'll be something new.
Reproductive care.
Probably
The
not.
thing about the salience issue is the longer the bans are in place, the more of these horror stories Americans hear, the stronger the issue becomes. People are so ready to end this crisis.
California delegates chose to pass instead of casting their votes for.
And
Is that surprising?
Republicans,
That
it's how we've been winning in these battleground states with
Hmm.
these ballot referendums. You can't
home state
win
always goes
over
last.
So
Dude, these people always do this shit where they try and get friggin' views. They gotta get their money off of X.
important issue on
Is Trump actually leading the betting odds? Yeah, like 50 to 49. I mean, dude, it's come on. You know, I know people are excited, but it's like, so if Kamala goes back up tomorrow, are we gonna be sad? I mean, it's gonna go back and forth. This is gonna go back and forth. It is what it is.
The issue that changed their mind, voters that people wouldn't necessarily consider abortion rights or reproductive rights being their top issue.
So in Arizona, my team's been on the ground knocking on doors for the ballot measure and for candidates like Ruben Guaido.
You don't want to watch? Yeah, I just wait for the speeches. Honestly, I mean, this is a typical convention where they just don't do shit for like 3 hours, and then we get Obama and Schumer. I'll watch those two tonight. But I want to see Waltz, man. I really want to see Waltz bat. I think Waltz is the main event, but he's not speaking tonight.
My daughters, we're seeing more and more men in this fight too, and that's really
Yeah, really good polls out of Virginia. You're right. I saw the one. I don't know if there's any more that are being released. I think Rasmussen's doing one that I heard.
Much for your time. Amna and Jeff, you heard there that abortion is still, as many says, going to be one of the biggest mobilizing factors for Democrats this election cycle.
Laura Barone, thanks as always. So as this roll call winds its way to South Dakota, Amy, picking up on what they were talking about. Look,
Now they're on to South Dakota.
rights has been on the ballot since this
Just got here. How's it going? I just started streaming, I think, like 7 minutes ago, honestly.
and this issue will be on the ballot.
But they're just doing the delegates where they're all casting for Harris, which is kind of ironic, but
And there are other states potentially that could add similar measures. How might this move the needle in a close race?
I think the fact that it is a part of the conversation that's happening.
they said Trump. I thought they said Trump 147 times. At least that's what the thing that Trump put out on Truth Social, that they said his name 147 times.
Fight is about, and we're in a state where they're
I do want to watch like MSNBC, but
the kind of place that would that,
just because I want to hear what they have to say.
that benefits Democrats, I would argue all the way down the ballot, not just.
This is PBS though. They have. I didn't know they had commentators on PBS.
Harris doesn't really talk about abortion per se. It's the word freedom that she's been spending a lot of time on, and it kind of goes.
Low
to
volume. I'll turn it up when a speech happens.
That the Arizona director was having with Laura on the floor there, that there are so many voters who say, look, abortion to them is a very
Yeah, we got to do the
personal
abortion
decision.
stuff again.
And what
Waltz
about
will do the bow tomorrow. Yeah, I hope.
People
I love your takes on white guilt, especially Waltz. Fucking hilarious. Yeah, right. I mean, Waltz. I mean, I just like calling out these white. I'm just done with these white people. They just have so much. They just have the white guilt, and
the issue of
I mean, Waltz is a clown though. Waltz is like next level. Which I mean, I guess we should be happy they chose Waltz.
considered sacrosanct, no longer being there. And so I think that's how you're going to hear.
You ever figure out?
Harris
Yeah,
talk about it, which will be a little bit
the brain
different
fog. Yeah, I did, man.
the Arizona
It's been hard. Let's just say that.
specifically in her state. Yeah.
David, to that point, we have seen this sort of reframing of the language with the Harris-Waltz ticket.
Did Van Jones cry? I heard Van Jones was mad about Biden, and honestly, it does make sense.
Stake here.
I was surprised what Biden did.
More on this
I was.
freedom, right? Freedom for reproductive rights and access.
What about CNN? Wild takes on this. CNN. I think CNN was mainly pissed off that Biden was kind of angry. I think a lot of Dems were. Thoughts on Trump's speech today? I don't think I saw his speech today. I mean, I did see the end of his speech today, but I didn't see the full thing. But wasn't it just like a little gathering? It was not an actual rally, from what I saw.
So how do you persuade people these are the right things in an election campaign? The one thing you do is you pick a bunch, as I said, stylistically.
The fact that Trump is back on top, poly market predicted winner of the DNC is pretty wild. Yeah. Yeah, man, channel. I mean, the channel. This is probably my peak is probably going to be on election night. I'm not going to lie. I think I might trend on Twitter on election night. No, I'm kidding. But my peak will be on election night. It's all leading up, and then. I mean, dude, as long as I can make good money like these next 2 months, there's basically 2 months left. Well, I mean, I guess there's still the end of August, but September, October, then it's done. November 5th.
And so there tend to be conservative framings for progressive policies. And
Joe Biden should have said he's not dropping out. Well, he's never going to do that. He's a dude, he's in California right now. He's already left. Biden was nasty and evil during that speech. Oh, Joe. How many times is Tampon Tim? Yeah, he'll start fake crying again when Obama gets up there, I'm sure.
And I think the reframing of the conversation in the way that David talked about it.
Best MLB stadium. I mean, it just. I think it's. I've always thought it was Fenway. But I mean, there's a lot of things you could take from that. Depends. I mean, there's obviously newer stadiums that have more bells and whistles.
Freedom from government telling them what to do with their bodies, how they can vote, how they can earn a living. One of the things I think the Vice President says is freedom to take care of your.
Am I doing an election night stream? Yeah.
When it's put in that way, whether you're a Democrat, Republican.
Have the live betting odds up? Yeah. Well, I plan to have. I plan to have like 4 things in different, like 5 or 6 different things. The betting odds. You guys know the New York Times ticker? I want to have that up, but I don't know if they're doing that because I don't think they did it in 2020. You got the live betting odds are important, obviously when they call states and stuff. But a lot of the states, when you think about it, they're so obvious. Like 70% of the states that get called are so obvious. Like, oh, Indiana for Trump, you know, Vermont for Harris. It'll be interesting the way they count the votes. I think they're going to count them in a positive direction for Trump again, obviously, because if they count the day of votes first in most of the states outside of like Florida. Also, Ohio does it the same thing as Florida because Trump was losing Ohio in 2016 and 2020 and then came back because they did the mail-ins first. Dude, Don Lemon, honestly, I think he's trolling us. I didn't include that in one of my videos, but Don Lemon put out another video, and in the title it just says, asking people Trump or Biden, and it's just a bunch of minority females all saying Trump. I mean, it's like the demographic that Trump wins at like a 10% rate or like a 5% rate, and they're all saying Trump. It's like the dude's just trolling. Will Bronco Mendenhall turn around New Mexico? Oh, I don't know about that. I didn't even know he was there, honestly. New Mexico is... They've had a tough time for sure. Don't they have a game and they got a week 0 game against Montana State? We'll have to see. Yeah, I know Obama won Indiana. That's pretty impressive. I don't even know PBS had this. I just went to it because I thought it was a. Oh, here's MSNBC.
Shrinkflation hurts families, and Senator Sherrod Brown is doing.
Come on, dude! I'm gonna have to spend like $2,000 on a computer. I'm so sick of this. I spent $1,200 on a computer, $300 on a. Oh my God!
As someone with significant learning disabilities, I know the value of investing in every single.
Well, let's see what Rachel Maddow has to say.
We are proud to call Vermont home, and we are proud to cast our 24 votes for Kamala Harris because we are not going back.
Chances Memphis makes the playoff? I mean, I would say like a 20% chance. Oh, we got it. We got an unincorporated territory now.
Your vote. Mr. Secretary, we are
MSNBC. MSNBC is crazy liberal. But right now they're not doing a roundtable though. They're just.
and freedom, home of Alexander Hamilton, the first slave rebellion in the Western Hemisphere, the fire-burned Queens. We are proud to celebrate a nominee of Caribbean.
Yeah, I mean this is pretty crazy. Trump is building a. Have you guys seen the ticket that Trump's been building? Trump is building a legit powerhouse. Like the team that he's building, it's gonna be Trump, Vance, Elon Musk, RFK, Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, this is a dream ticket. This is a dream ticket. They got a DJ there.
Virginia, how do you cast your vote?
Mr. Secretary.
Give all territories their independence. Yeah, they don't want it. They want if they have a natural disaster, the United States pays for it.
Senator Tim Kaine, majorities in the House of Representatives, with 6 hard-working Congress members, and majorities in the General Assembly. We also are proud to be represented by 25,000.
Trump said he would consider RFK. Oh yeah, I know. I know. That's the deal. RFK is going to drop out, endorse him, and get a cabinet position.
Fulfill freedom by building aircraft carriers and submarines. Senator Warner.
Virginia.
What have I missed? Well, they haven't. There's been nobody talk. Nobody's talked yet.
Tim Kaine to the United States Senate.
They're doing all the votes. They're doing the votes. It's funny.
Our Commonwealth of Virginia is
He will have Vivek somewhere in there. Yeah, I think Vivek will be part of it too.
119 votes for the next president.
Is Morning Joe doing? Is Morning Joe there? Yeah, I think we actually did see Dark Brandon last night. He was pissed off. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, dude, this is the stuff that gets copyrighted. This is so annoying. This is the stupidest thing ever. Basically, what happens is with all these songs and stuff, there's no way I'm gonna be able to hide it. There were 6 songs that I mean, I didn't get a copyright strike or anything, but what happens is they just take your revenue. I think that's the dumbest thing ever. If you put out a song, you don't just get the rights for it any single time it's played. I mean, we're watching something. Just because a song is played doesn't give you the rights to take money from everyone that's reacting to an event. I think that's ridiculous. I mean, you're putting it out in the public. Every single time it's played, you have to make money off of it? But I mean, that's what they do. This is going to get claimed as well. It is what it is. I should have waited for this to be over. This is boring. Trump might get 330 plus electoral votes. That's a lot. That's a lot to ask for. I mean, yeah, he would have to win Virginia, probably Minnesota. Virginia, Georgia, and Arizona are must-wins for Trump. Now, I mean, you can't say Virginia is a must-win, because that would be bad news if it was a must-win. Because Virginia is a Democratic state. Now, Trump could flip it because of the help of Youngkin and everything. And you look at Virginia, and it seems like, I mean, Waltz had like a -15 approval rating, -17. Seems like Virginia can be flipped, but I don't think it's a must-win. I think Georgia is probably as close to a must-win as you can get. But I don't even think Georgia is a must-win.
I will not let.
It just depends. The thing is, Trump has more paths now, guys. It's not like 2020 and 2016 where he had to win like all these things because he didn't have Florida at that point in 2016 or 2020, so the math was different.
My name is Catherine Prather. I am 18 years old, and I am the youngest delegate from West Virginia.
How are you even on this? You don't even know anything.
I'm suited up and ready for battle because I will not let my freedoms and my future be taken away by Donald Trump.
What if he wins all 50 states? It would require something to. I mean, it's impossible. Even if there was a crazy scandal, there's no way he would win California. It's just not possible. Can you rank every FBS stadium? No, I would do an NFL stadium ranking if I'm going to do one of those. Every FBS stadium, I think, you know. I already did that, dude. That's a lot. That's a lot that goes into that. Oh, the cheeseheads for Wisconsin. Oh.
My home state of Wisconsin. How do you cast your vote?
Thank you, Badger.
How does one become a delegate? You just gotta be a. The requirements, you gotta be a nerd. I mean, you can just tell by you gotta be a nerd. You have to kiss up to Congress people. I don't know. I mean, these delegates are just. They just send people there like, oh, you know, you're a valued member. You donate to our party. Is there a stream delay? Yeah, I don't have ultra low latency. I have normal latency. Listen, I'm gonna upgrade everything hopefully soon. I might just say I'm just gonna buy a $2,000 computer or something because I'm sick and tired of dealing with stuff. I need to get like three terabytes or something of storage because I'm just tired of it. And then this computer becomes my just main crypto computer, and then I have a different one to stream and everything. I actually need to buy a gaming PC to stream properly. The Packers, I mean, the Packers should be decent this year. We'll see how Jordan Love is. Probably 10-11 wins, I'd say. I think an easier division, right? This makes Kid Rock look cool. I mean, we knew this was going to be real bad. We knew it was going to be real bad. Dark MAGA, yeah, that was a weird situation. Some dude said I caused the price to go down when he said I sold it. That never happened. I doubled down on it. I didn't sell it.
Kamala Harris.
I wouldn't even be buying it to play many games, man. It's just for streaming and just so and because I record stuff and it moves. It just I want the best, just in terms of always having this channel and having to upload stuff every single day. Yeah, this is gonna get claimed as well.
Delegates, my name's Joe Barbudo, and these folks around me, we are honored to be representing the great state of Wyoming.
Known liberal hub, Wyoming.
Right to vote, and the state that 100 years ago elected Democrat Nellie Taylor Ross, our nation's
Liz Cheney, right? Liz Cheney. Did you see Theo Von interview with Trump? I saw a few clips of it. I saw it was trending. I was thinking of reacting to it or something, but I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna get like 10 million views. I'm gonna. I'll definitely try and do a reaction like a stream reaction, probably. Yeah, it'd have to be a stream reaction to the Rogan Trump, if it happens. Rogan Trump podcast.
How do you cast your vote?
Hello, Minnesota!
My name is Hans Storvik, and Tim Walz was my neighbor, coach, and favorite teacher.
GPU, yeah. I don't even need it for like actual gaming. But I just need I'm just gonna get a really nice one, I think, anyways. There are Dems in Wyoming, there's like 10 Democrats in Wyoming, yeah.
And kindness, even and especially when we disagreed. But he wasn't just a great teacher, he was also a great neighbor and friend. In fact, when he was in the midst of a budget battle as governor of our state, he still found time to
Girl on the left looked like Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt.
He's always been there for us. And that's how I know he'll always be there for you as vice president.
The final 10 Democrats.
Thank you, Hans. Minnesota, let me hear you.
Do a reaction to the Theo Von interview. At least it won't get copyrighted. Yeah, that stuff doesn't really. If you react to anything, it's not going to get copyrighted. The problem is the music. If you have music from like an artist, it automatically will get copyrighted because it's an automated thing in their system. And it's in the background and nobody cares about it, but they still just take it.
And in November, Minnesota is going to send Tim Walz and Kamala Harris to the White House.
Yeah, there's Waltz's head. Dude, they have somebody needs to buy a shirt, a Tim Walz shirt. It just says coach. It says coach. Imagine somebody buys that.
And purple reigns.
Whoa, that's some sass.
And I'm Tina Smith from the great state of Minnesota.
There's some sass from her. Ooh. Is there any good reason to vote blue? Well, it depends who. It depends on a number of things, honestly. But for the vast majority of the country, I don't think so. No. But look, half the country is gonna vote blue. It is what it is. Probably over half, honestly. Obviously, the people that vote. A lot of people don't vote, so it's. Theo Vaughn interviewed Bernie Sanders. I know, I saw that as well. How long was the Trump interview? Do you know? Normally, those interviews or those podcasts are really short. They're normally only an hour long when they do it with politicians. They don't go for a long time. I notice it happens every single time they do a politician. Vivek versus Newscum in 2028. I don't think it'll be Vivek, honestly, man.
My name's Governor.
Dude, remember when Newsom was crying yesterday? Oh, I gotta find that clip of my reaction to that.
From the great state of Nancy Pelosi.
I thought Newsom would be cleaning up shit in California. Remember when he was cleaning up, like, feces? They had a video of him doing it, like, 2 weeks ago.
That prides itself on being on the leading and cutting edge.
He has teardrops to fake cry. He literally has them in his right now.
State in the world's most diverse democracy. And we pride ourselves. We pride ourselves on our ability to live together and advance together and prosper together across every.
Do the musicians approve their music being played at political events? Thought that they would want to stay neutral. Yeah, sometimes they don't, and then it becomes an issue. But I think it's 52 minutes. Oh, when Obama speaks? Yeah.
And Democrats, I've had the privilege for over.
But I don't know. They'll probably. This has got to be over soon. I mean, they're definitely. Oh no, this is the last one. This is the last one. So this is it for the delegates. Because they said California was going last because it's her home state or something.
I saw that star. I saw that star fighting for criminal justice, racial justice, economic justice, social justice. I saw that star.
I mean, do you really need to record him like right up his ass like that? I mean, look at that. You can see. Oh, there's Pelosi right there. Pound of makeup.
Kamala Harris.
Pelosi. Well, yeah, Pelosi. She has so much makeup. Her face is rubber.
Civil rights. LGBTQ rights.
Newscum, yeah, he got wrecked by DeSantis during that COVID showdown. That was hilarious. You're investing in, invest in all the tampon companies. That's a good idea.
Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States of America. California.
It's Pelosi. It looks like she's in a rubber mask. Oh, not Maxine. Oh, Maxine. The jazz hands are out. Yep, the jazz hands are out. Try not to get copyrighted. Oh, it'll get copyrighted for sure. But it doesn't. I don't get a copyright strike. They just say, "Oh, yeah, you're not gonna make money from it."
Thank you to everyone who participated in our celebration.
There's no way to not get copyrighted on something like this because there's 7 different songs.
This process, both now and earlier this month when we conducted our virtual roll call. I am thrilled to reaffirm Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee for President of the
I mean, she finally got votes. I mean, this is her getting votes. She finally got votes. Oh, wait. These aren't real votes.
Pursuant to the convention rules of procedure.
Auntie has so much Botox. Dude, I've seen so many young girls get Botox and it's just ruined them. They look 10 years older. It's sad.
August 22nd. But now, a special surprise. It's my pleasure to introduce our.
I mean, they're not even doing a roundtable.
President of the United States, live from my home state of Wisconsin, Vice President Kamala Harris.
What is this? Is she coming out or something? Is this at the event? It doesn't look like it. No, it's not at the event. That's weird. Yeah, why are they showing this? What happened to the weird Socialist Party of America? Yeah, those parties, they come and they go. I think there's a Communist Party of America now. It'll be gone in a few months, I'm sure. There'll be another one in a year, then it'll be gone, and then there'll be another one. J.D. Vance is a solid pick. I think, you know, we'll see with J.D. Vance. I think J.D. Vance is... He's a smart guy. He's been put through the ringer a little bit. They definitely have a smear campaign going that he hates women, and it's hurt his approval for sure. Yeah, the Pfizer Forum, that's where the RNC was.
Can do together. We are so honored to be your nominees. This is a people-powered campaign, and together we will chart a new way forward.
This is not even live. I don't know why they're showing this.
A future for freedom, opportunity.
That's a funny thing. Oh, I guess they are showing it on everything. Yeah, there's Kamala Harris. Her account is streaming it with 4,000 viewers.
We will chart a new way forward. A future for freedom, opportunity, of optimism and faith. So to everyone in Chicago.
She sounds drunk. This is not even live. I don't know why they're showing this. It's strange. They're acting like it's live, though. What does JD stand for? I don't know. Normally it's John David or something. I don't know what it is.
Please welcome TV personality, loud and proud Latina, Ana Navarro.
Oh my God, this lady, this is the CNN lady. Oh my God. We want the main event. We want... Well, there's the virtue signaling.
So tell me, are you excited?
So when is Obama speaking?
Wow,
10 o'clock?
What energy. What a moment.
That was just fake. I mean, they just faked her coming out.
Being
Oh, she's live in Minnesota?
who came to this country at the age of 8. Thank you for inviting me to be here.
They just
Welcome
replayed
to
something.
The second night of the Democratic National Convention. Let me tell you about the Kamala Harris I know.
No, The View.
She is
Yeah, this is their chance.
a joyful, optimistic leader. She
I swear she's been on
cares
CNN
about
a bunch.
policy, yes, but she also cares about people and how that policy affects real people.
Biden secretly orders U.S. to prepare nuclear threats. Yeah, I know, but that thing was reported. That was approved like 3 months ago. You have to be careful with that stuff, like especially when it comes from. I saw the person, the account that broke the news. It was kind of like, it was like that alerts account, if that's the one. It was already approved apparently.
We cannot elect a president.
James
who does
David, yeah,
not
that makes
love
sense.
dogs or hangs around with people who shoot them. Now, let's be serious. Donald Trump and his minions call Kamala a communist. I know communism. I fled communism from Nicaragua when I was 8 years old. I don't take it lightly. And let me tell you what communist dictators do.
She's
And
in
it's
Milwaukee.
never
Why would she
just
be in
for
Milwaukee
one
while
day.
the DNC is going on?
They attack the free press. They call them the enemy of the people. Like
Look at
Ortega
Leading
does in
Report's
Nicaragua.
latest tweet.
They
Oh,
put their
great. Leading Report.
unqualified relatives in cushy
Oh,
government
God.
jobs so they can get rich of their positions.
I mean, Leading Reports, they
like
get
the
some stuff
Castros
right,
do
you know.
in
It's
Cuba. And they refuse to accept legitimate
Yeah, I mean,
elections
but I
when
mean,
they
this is
lose
just,
and
they're
call
just
for
farming
violence
engagement
to
here.
stay
Like,
in
does this
power,
really need to
like
be said?
Maduro is doing
What is he at,
right
51% now?
in
I mean, listen, Trump's
Venezuela.
been trending in Pennsylvania, I will say that.
Tell me something.
Bear, I appreciate it. It's Miss Piggy, yes.
Sound familiar? Is there anybody running for president who reminds you of that? And I know one thing, it's not Kamala Harris. That is not the American.
Leading report. Well,
the
they
America
just
we
engagement
love.
farm. That's
It's
all
not
they do.
The land of freedom we treasure. Last night.
Oh, they
we
do have the
heard
speakers down there.
President Biden say that
The
he
next
loves
speaker
his
they said, I
country,
think, was Obama.
But he loves his country more. Every American needs to love our country more. Every American has the duty to put.
They love America. The 3 months out of every 4 years they love America. And then it's back to hating the country. It's all racist. It's terrible.
Country first.
But no, for 3 months they love the
And
country.
in this election, putting country first means one thing and one
Dude, I just want to
only.
get to Tim
Voting
Waltz
for
coming
Kamala
out.
Harris.
I just want to see Tim Waltz. I'm not gonna lie. Tim Waltz is the main event. Let's be honest.
And that is what this night is about. That is what we're going to talk about tonight. So you know what? Let's get it started. Let's get this fiesta going.
There's no energy. This place is dead.
The ayes are 50, the nays are 50. The
Luke
Senate being
Walker is
equally
crazy. Oh,
divided,
was he
the
there?
Vice President votes
I
in
think
the
he's there.
affirmative, and the nomination is confirmed.
Someone said he was there because they were like him and Steve Kerr, and I mean Steve Kerr spoke.
And the concurrent resolution as amended is adopted.
Yeah, you rescued the economy. You rescued it.
And the motion to proceed is agreed to.
Like throwing a match on a burning building.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate
We need
being
Trump because the
equally
majority
divided,
of your
Vice President votes in the
University of
affirmative,
New
and
Mexico,
the
I'm
bill
guessing,
as
classmates have
amended
food
is passed.
insecurity because meal plans are $2 grand. Cost of attendance is the main. Well, listen, I don't know. That's a mouthful, but yeah.
Golden gavel.
Well, here comes Schumer.
President Harris, 32 tie-breaking.
God, what a cockroach. What a roach. Remember when he got harassed by the Dominican
Please
dude?
welcome Senate Majority Leader and New York
Oh,
Senator
God.
Chuck Schumer.
Oh, Lord. Dude, he should come out to like a cockroach sound. Someone should edit in a cockroach. Dude, this is so pathetic, Chuck. Oh, the black dudes are even cringing.
Wasn't that a great roll call?
Yeah, she finally got votes.
Now just let me hear you. If you're ready for President Kamala
Chuck, this is all
Harris.
fake. Chucky, Chuck. Chuckster, this is all fake. Come on.
We're here to talk about
Go
one
grill
thing
another burger.
tomorrow and building a better tomorrow.
Man,
for
he's a good
all
dancer, man.
Americans.
Remember him dancing with
This November,
Colbert?
We can choose a brighter, a fairer, a
This
freer
looks like a
future.
cockroach. I mean, I can't lie.
Or we can relive the dark night of Trump's American
The Dark Knight, great movie.
carnage. Only one candidate will move America forward, Kamala Harris.
Enough with the hand gestures.
Vice President Harris
The
has been the best
cockroach.
partner Senate Democrats
The emoji.
could ever have asked
The
for.
cockroach emoji.
Under her,
I mean, he is a
under
cockroach.
her
He
and
looks like it.
President
I
Biden's
mean,
leadership,
dude, we need when Waltz
lowered
comes out.
prescription drug
We got.
prices
Is there like a Soviet
created
emoji
millions,
or something?
millions of good-paying
Is there a communist
American
emoji?
jobs.
Probably not. Damn it. Just get a wall
I
of
worked
communist.
with Kamala Harris when she was
Soviet
Senator
Union
Harris.
flag.
I saw a leader who was fearless, who stood up for middle-class families like the one she was raised in, who focused on things that really mattered. Helping parents raise their kids, safe neighborhoods.
I mean, it was fitting that he was in New York City. That's his home. He's a cockroach. He's a roach. He looks like a roach. It's the human version.
She will lead America
No way he's
forward
73.
into a
Oh.
brighter future.
I mean, he said the first time he's like, listen, I'll admit it. This is the first time I've been in my backyard because they yelled at him because he had the burger with the cheese on top. His SWAT the cockroach. We need some bug spray. We need some bug spray.
2 years ago, the naysayers said Senate Democrats stood no chance in the midterms.
Dude, Tim Waltz.
I told them.
Why
just
is
you
Tim
wait.
Waltz an admitted
We're
communist?
going to keep the
How
Senate
does that happen?
And maybe pick up a seat or two.
China
And
flag?
that's
Yeah,
exactly what
China flag.
happened.
Oh, the sickle. There it is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
But it's
my
hard
good
to see.
friends at this convention,
I am telling all of you now, we're going to hold the Senate again, and we're poised to pick up
You're not holding the
seats.
Senate. You don't even believe you're going to hold the Senate. Stop. You're not getting the Senate.
A Democratic majority to create good-paying jobs and lower costs. To defend a woman's right to choose. To
Bring in the
deliver for
off.
communities
What is it
back
called?
home.
Off with an exclamation
Our
point.
senators are doing it. Like Jackie Rosen, delivering high-speed rail.
Dude,
from
what
Nevada.
if there's like a cockroach sound and I
John
edit it when he comes
Tester,
out?
bringing high-check jobs to Montana.
His theme song is just a cockroach
and
noise.
Casey and Sherrod Brown and Tammy Baldwin and Martin Heinrich fixing bridges in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there's no energy. They blew their load last night. There's no energy. Well, they got pissed off at what Biden did. They're really angry at Biden.
We also have amazing
Biden
candidates.
really
Ruben
set them back
Gallego,
at the DNC. This is
Angela
why Trump's going
Alsobrooks,
ahead now in every state.
Andy Kim,
Trump's trending in every
Alyssa
state.
Slotkin,
Trump is up by
Lisa
5 points on
Blunt,
Poly Market.
Rochester,
Trump is on fire
Colin
right now.
Allred, Debbie
During the
Mucarsel
DNC,
Powell.
we're seeing the
And
shift.
folks, listen to this. More than half
Cheese
of
on a
our
raw burger.
candidates
Yeah, how does that
are
even happen? He
candidates
just,
of
I think he
color.
wanted to do it for the picture.
We're making the
I mean, he never
Senate look
grills.
like
It's,
America.
he was trying to relate to people.
Now let's compare that with Senate Republicans. Senate Republicans pretend to care about middle-class families, but they voted no on expanding the child tax credit, and J.D. Vance
Did you
didn't
see
even show
Warnock
up to
telling
vote.
Trump to read the Bible while Warnock simultaneously supports abortion? Yeah, they should. They have
Senate
no leg to stand on when it comes to the
pretend
Bible
to care
or
about
anything
the
with God.
border,
No leg.
but
I mean,
they
their
voted
party.
no
Most of them are
on the
atheists now. All the
strongest
younger people are
border
atheists.
bill in a decade. Republicans tend
Please
to care
clap.
about
That's
freedom,
not necessary with
but they
Jeb.
voted no on a
What
woman's
if,
right
wait,
to choose.
wasn't Jeb one of DeSantis' top
No to
advisors
safeguard IVF.
when he was running?
No to birth
Dude,
control.
what was DeSantis thinking?
That is just a taste of their extreme agenda. Is that what we want for America?
They're not three. You don't have to do
Do we
that.
want a Republican Senate that assaults reproductive freedoms? Do we want a Republican Senate that cuts taxes for the rich, rigs the game for big oil?
Yeah, we
and
got
big
Trump's
pharma?
tax cut in 2017. That's going to expire.
Well, folks, the choice
What about the capital
is
gains
ours.
tax now that's come out?
Now let me close. Let me close on a personal
Have you guys seen
note.
that new tax that Harris supports? Oh
As
my
the
God.
highest-ranking
Unrealized
Jewish
gains get
elected
taxed.
official
You
in
might
American
make $100,000 off Bitcoin. It might go back down, but we're going to tax you anyways.
I want my grandkids and all grandkids to never, never face discrimination.
Did you see the Trump
because
interview
of who
with
they
Theo
are.
Vaughn? I saw parts of it. I mean, it
But
just
Donald
came out
Trump,
recently, so.
This is a guy who peddles
I mean, I can go to
anti-Semitic
parts of it if you want. I'll
stereotypes.
see if they have it on X.
He even invited a white supremacist to Mar-a-Lago. And
Fuentes?
unfortunately,
Is he talking about Fuentes?
prejudice goes in all directions. He fuels Islamophobia.
Who do you think will win the Republican
and issued a
nomination in
Muslim
2028?
ban
Well, I
as
mean,
president.
obviously, you would say if Trump wins, Vance is going to be the heavy favorite.
Tonight,
If Trump
folks,
loses, it's
I am wearing this blue
it's going to be
square
wide open. I know
to
people are saying
stand up
Youngkin. I don't know if
to
Youngkin's going to.
anti-Semitism, to stand up to all hate.
I feel like that capital gain tax. Yeah, 45% capital gains tax,
Our
dude.
children,
We gotta make, dude.
our
We need Trump to
grandchildren,
win so bad.
no matter their
Because
race,
I'm gonna be
no
pulling a
matter
lot of my
their
money
creed,
out
their
during
gender
whoever's
or
administration
family,
this is.
deserve better than Donald Trump's American carnage. So, are you ready?
She said
to
it was
make
just
sure
for the
Donald
wealthy.
Trump
Yeah, but what does that
never,
even mean?
ever
Like,
gets
dude,
near the
it's
White
like, oh,
House
you make $1 million,
again?
you're like really rich. That's not how it is anymore. Look at
So let's
inflation.
elect Kamala Harris,
That's
Tim
absurd to call that. I mean,
Walz,
listen,
and
if
a
you like 10
Democratic
million, I can
majority
understand
in
it,
the
but
Senate, and keep the torch of
Also, it
freedom
depends on where you live.
burning bright for generations to come. On to victory in November.
it's such like a weasel speech. It's weird with Schumer. Well, here comes Obama. No, it's going to be another 30 minutes.
Together, we will build what I call an opportunity economy. I will take on the high costs that matter
Kamala is
most
going to
to
get
most
cooked
Americans.
in the debates.
Compare my plan with what Donald Trump intends
Just
to
worry
do.
about moderates
He wants
handicapping
to
Trump.
impose
Yeah, no, I
what
think
is,
she's going to
in
get destroyed in the
fact,
debates.
a
I mean, there's a
national
reason she doesn't want to do a
sales
Fox
tax
debate.
everyday products and basic
She's afraid to do a Fox
necessities that we
debate.
import
There's
from
going to be one debate in
overseas.
September,
It
one in
will mean
October.
higher prices on just about every one of your daily needs. Donald Trump's plan
66% capital gains tax in Canada.
$3,900
Dude, that is
a year.
absurd.
He wants
That's
to
like
repeal
soft
the
communism. That is soft communism. 66% capital gains tax. What's the point of investing?
He plans to give billionaires massive tax cuts year after year, and he plans to.
I think
cut
right now with
corporate
crypto, you
taxes
could
by
pull
over
things
$1
out and get like 30.
trillion.
People say, oh, it's
That if you
50%.
wanna know who
Even if you
someone
make
cares
multiple
about,
millions from
look
crypto,
who
you
they
pull it
fight
out.
for.
I know it's like, well, if you hold for over a year, but even if you don't, I think you can get away with like 35% right now. Only paying 35%. That's if you make millions. But I may be wrong on that.
And just yesterday, we
I mean, my
announced
taxes
that
were
we
not
are
that bad
lowering
last
the
year compared to
price
what I
for
made.
10 more
I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was.
As president, I
Or maybe not a
want to
lot
build
worse.
the
I thought I was
house
going to be
we
about
need.
10K off,
And by the
10K
end
more
of
than what it
my
was.
first term, we will end America's housing shortage by building 3 million new homes and rentals that are affordable for the middle class. More than 100 million Americans will get a tax
No
cut
opportunity
by
economy? Yeah, I mean, if they
restoring
put that
the
on, it's gonna be
Earned
terrible.
Income Tax credit and the child tax credit, through which millions of Americans with children got to keep more.
Would
of
you
their
ever make merch?
hard-earned
I was
income.
thinking of making
We will
merch back in
provide $6,000
back in
tax
March,
relief
but I
to
never did.
families during the first year of a
Will
child's
Big Mike talk
life.
tonight? I don't know. I think
Now
Barack is
the
talking for
time
sure at
to
10 o'clock.
chart a new way forward. I will fight to give
I'm
money
sure
back to
Elon could give
working
himself
and
a
middle-class
natural born
Americans.
robot by
Increase
2028.
the security and
Dude, they're gonna have
stability
robot
financially of
helpers
your
like they do in
family and
Interstellar,
expand
where it's just a
opportunity
robot and it's a
for
human
working
voice,
and
because
middle-class
we need a
Americans.
human voice because we can relate to it. And it's like a chat. I mean, I do a lot with ChatGPT where I'll ask it these weird questions, and
welcome Vermont
it is
Senator
nuanced. But imagine when they
Bernie
redefine, when they fine tune all the AIs. Oh, here's Bernie. Bernie's still kicking. Bernie's still going.
Thank you.
He's got to like Walt at least. How do you see the next few years?
My fellow
Ask me that after
Americans,
this speech.
It is an honor. It is an honor to be with you tonight because we're laying the groundwork for Kamala Harris to become our next president.
He's got to sit for him. He came out and said he really didn't like Harris. He's like, she's not that good, but he's got to simp for him.
Let me tell you why that is so important.
Yeah, Bernie's looked the same for the
I want
last
you all to
15 years, to be fair.
Where we were 3.5 years ago.
I remember Bernie wearing the mask, sitting by himself during the inauguration with Biden.
Health crisis in 100 years.
Yeah, Trump got screwed with that.
The
You're right.
worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. 3,000 Americans were dying every day. And our hospitals were overwhelmed with COVID patients.
That's what happens when you have 1 in a million pandemic. It's really bad. I agree.
Businesses were shutting down.
Yeah, the libs wanted businesses to shut down for years.
Was soaring. Workers were losing their health insurance. Schools were closing.
They wanted them to stay closed for years. And schools closing was a disaster, and a lot of kids are a lot dumber because of it.
Their homes. Children in America were going hungry. That was the reality the Biden-Harris administration faced as they entered the Oval Office.
And they didn't. I mean, they ruined it. They blame inflation now. They didn't help it. They just blame inflation.
And
They blame the pandemic on. They blame inflation on the pandemic.
For support. And within 2 months of taking office,
Donald Trump and Theo Vaughn talking about cocaine is crazy, yet Joe Rogan and Trump smoking a blunt together would be. Yeah, I think Rogan and Trump are going to do something now with what Vaughn did.
The American Rescue Plan, which provided $1,400 for every man, woman,
Oh my
and child
God, dude.
in the working class.
Yeah, and those stimuluses killed us with inflation.
We extended and expanded
I didn't even get a
benefits
single
for
stimulus.
the unemployed.
Not that I care, but
We provided emergency assistance.
Walmart was open.
for
All
small
the big boy
businesses
stores
to
were open.
stay open. We guaranteed health
All the big players, that
coverage
multi-billion-dollar
to tens
corporations
of
that could fight for
millions of
themselves.
Americans
You know, with a thing
through
like that,
one
you
of the
can either fight it.
largest expansions of Medicaid.
Who is John? Oh,
in
there's a no-name
history.
coming up to speak. With something like
We
the pandemic,
provided
Tammy
rent
Duckworth,
relief and mortgage
with something like the
assistance,
pandemic,
which
if you're not a big
prevented
player,
and
multi-billion-dollar
homeowners
corporation, you're going to
from
get
being
squished like a bug.
evicted. We established emergency food programs.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
for
They did blame
hungry
price gouging for like a week. I think they've given that up, though.
And protected the pensions.
Bernie is a
of
socialist. Well, he's an
millions of
admitted
union
socialist.
workers
And there are
retirees
aspects of the United
from
States,
being
slim
slashed
aspects
by
that are
up to
socialist. But when you start talking about all the taxes and stuff, that's when it gets ridiculous. I mean, there's people that think you should be taxed at 100% rate if you make a certain amount of money. Or like a 99% rate or something. And then there's no incentive to make money and help the economy grow.
Child tax credit. Thank you, President Biden. Thank you.
Yeah, we want there to be more kids. I mean,
Thank you.
that's the whole thing. If you have kids, we're incentivizing it.
Now I say
No, I'm not a
all
millionaire,
of
man.
this
No.
Not to relive that difficult moment, but to make one simple point.
Dude, at one
When
point
the
I was like,
political will
I would say 7
is
months.
there,
Wait.
government
5 months
can
ago, I was like,
effectively
I mean, dude, it's
deliver
like you can't
for the
even call it
people
because
of
it's
our
just with.
country.
I mean, I was like 6/10 of the way, but with COVID, with
And
crypto.
now we need to summon.
I know
that
Trump's up on
will
Polymarket
again,
right now. He's up significantly.
Because too many
He's going up
of
big.
our
That's
fellow
great to see.
Americans are struggling every day.
Big Mike is
to
speaking,
just
and then
get
Barack.
by, to put food on the table.
Obama's
the
washed.
rent
Yeah, but he
and
still
to get
controls
the
that party, at least
healthcare
partially, because
they need.
his approval rating is still amazing.
Brothers and
He won
sisters,
twice in bet
bottom
blowouts.
We need an economy that works for all of us, not just the billionaire class. My fellow Americans, when 60%
How old is
of our
Bernie? I think
people
maybe
live
like 82,
paycheck
if I had to
paycheck,
guess.
the top 1% have never, ever had it so good. And these oligarchs tell us
Every tax every dollar
shouldn't
over 10 million,
tax the
85%.
rich.
Well, I heard it was going to be. They wanted
The
it worse. I was like
oligarchs
5
tell
million,
us
90% they
we
wanted.
shouldn't take on
Then there's no incentive.
price
There's no way,
gouging.
dude. If I made like $5 million, I'm
We
not making money
shouldn't
for the government. Fuck
expand
off. No,
Medicare
people just
to
would
cover
not work after
dental,
that.
Hearing and vision.
Why would I? Why if I have a business
we
generating
shouldn't
10 million,
increase
or I would get
Social
you cut it down to like
Security
9 point. It just doesn't matter.
for
You're not going to grow your
struggling
business because there's no incentive when you're giving 90% of it to the government.
Well, I've got
Have you
some
seen the Mike Obama video?
news
Yeah,
tonight.
I think everyone's seen that video, man.
That is precisely what we are going to do. And we're going to win this struggle.
Bernie is a millionaire. Funny how that
because
works.
this is
It's all
precisely
virtue signaling.
what the American
He's a
people
millionaire just from his book alone.
From their government.
But dude, if any politician has this amount of fame, they're guaranteed to be a
And my
millionaire. To be fair.
friends, at the very top
And being a
of that
millionaire now
to-do
because of their
list
inflation problem, it really doesn't.
is the
I mean, it's
need
something, but
to
it's not.
get big
It's just
money
you know.
out
Think about
of
it.
our
It's a
political
25% increase on inflation. So like $1 million now is worth like $1 million in 2019 is worth $750K now, basically.
In both parties should not be able to buy elections, including primary elections.
Whoa. He just took a shot there at the Democrats. I like that.
For the sake of our democracy, we must overturn the disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision. and move
Notice how Bernie would always say
public
millionaires,
funding
but now he
of
doesn't say that and
elections.
says billionaires because he's a millionaire. Yeah, but to be fair to him, I mean, there's a lot of people that are millionaires now because inflation is just so out of control. It's not necessarily extremely hard to be a millionaire.
The rest of the industrialized world and guarantee health care.
It is funny that he says billionaires because it's such a small amount anyways. I mean, seriously, how many billionaires are there even in the United States? I know the United States has the most, but
raise the minimum wage to a living wage. We need to pass the PRO Act so that workers
his anger is still there. Yeah, he actually went light on them. He only said one little thing about it.
And gain the decent pay and benefits they deserve. We need to strengthen public education, raise teachers' salaries, and make sure that every American, regardless of income, receives the higher education he or
Deport
she
these people to
needs.
Venezuela. Well, they want a Venezuelan policy in this country. That was the whole thing with her trying to counter the price gouging.
Big Pharma.
That's what Venezuela did. They said, I mean, the idea of it, well, nobody can afford food because food is, the prices of it is increased by 25-30%. I mean, sometimes like 300-400% depending on the product. I mean, let's blame the producers and tell them to limit the price on things because people need to eat. And then they all go out of business and then the government controls all the food.
For insulin. We need to make
Do you think
sure
Trump has a
that
chance in
reality
Virginia?
is
Well, yeah,
true
he's certainly
for
got a chance,
every
especially with everything that's going on there with Youngkin and the paper ballots and the polls that have come out there. Yeah, he has a chance. I mean, he's still the underdog.
With Kamala and Tim to pass this agenda. And let us be very clear.
614 billionaires, 756. That's more than I thought, honestly.
But let me tell you what a radical agenda is. And that is Trump's Project 2025.
Oh, there it is. A radical agenda is not being racist against white
At a time
people.
of massive income and wealth inequality, giving more tax breaks to billionaires.
Giving tax
is
breaks to
radical.
everyone. That's what he did in 2017. Liberals even admitted they got good tax breaks. Everyone, not only billionaires.
Letting polluters destroy our planet is radical. And my friends,
His aura is gone. Well, I mean, he's coming to the end of his political career. He ran in 2016 and 2020, and
fellow Americans, in the last 3.5 years, working together, we have accomplished more than any government since FDR.
they've accomplished a lot. They've killed the ability for us to buy goods. That is an accomplishment.
To be done. We must
They've killed the border. They did
summon
accomplish that.
to stand up to wealth and power
Anything on the border.
and deliver justice for people at home and abroad.
Yeah, let's give more foreigners some stuff. That's a good idea.
Abroad.
Bernie, talk about the border, please.
We must end this horrific war in Gaza.
I mean, everyone agrees with that, but that's Middle East.
Bring home the hostages.
I mean,
and
actually,
demand an
a lot of
immediate
people want Palestine to
ceasefire.
win. FDR, yeah, he's like a fictional hero that they have to use because the Republicans have every like major great president.
Big Pharma, big oil,
Larry David, yeah, they're like I'd like to see him and Larry David next to each other.
tech, and all the other corporate monopolists whose greed
FDR
is
stopped the
denying
Nazi regime.
progress
Well, listen,
for
I hate
working
commies,
people.
but the Soviet Union did. I mean, America helped for sure.
On November 5th, let us elect Kamala Harris as our president, and let us go forward to create
Bernie had about a
the
15-minute
nation
speech.
we know we can become.
Anything
Thank you
on
all
inflation,
very
Bernie.
much.
Bernie, we've got a question about The border, no.
Please welcome Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker.
Oh, this big boy. They said this guy was going to be the VP or he was going to run for president or something, I heard.
Fellow Democrats, welcome to Chicago.
Trump did a podcast, yeah, I know, with Theo Vaughn.
We're a great American city in a proud blue state. Our patriotism was formed in frost and in fire, and in the steel we forged to survive both. Our love of country has been a tapestry of faith that weaves from Abraham Lincoln reuniting a house divided.
Yeah, this is the dude that doesn't want the Bears Stadium to happen, or he doesn't want the public paying for it, which is understandable. Fat Albert, big fella. This is not Chris Christie levels. This is not Chris Christie levels. Bernie didn't even sound excited to say elect Kamala. Yeah, did you see his interview like a few days ago when they were like, "Do you support Kamala?" And he's like, "Yeah, that she's the choice." He wasn't enthused at all. She was like, they were like, "Is she gonna, do you support her?" And he's like, "Well, we have to," basically.
Now, one president we will never claim is the con artist.
Knockoff Chris Christie. This is a knock. You're right. This is a knockoff Chris Christie. Chris did it first.
Donald Trump once called Chicago embarrassing. To quote a great Chicagoan who won,
I think Democrats have called Chicago embarrassing.
On these very grounds, we take that personally.
They use the same attacks. Project 2025, January 6th, verifying people hoax dictator on day one. He's Hitler. It's the same brainwashing. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, but that's what these conventions are, unfortunately.
In Illinois, we passed a massive bill to fix our roads and bridges.
New Trump poll down 4 in New Mexico. That's an amazing poll, bro. That is an amazing poll.
We eliminated the grocery tax. Donald hasn't been in a grocery store since his first bankruptcy.
I actually see some of these.
Illinois invested in
So not just
That's down and dirty, right?
Yeah, and it was
But you don't anymore?
No, I don't do it anymore, man, and I'm not doing it.
Is it too much? Too much to handle?
Some of the stuff started to get a real rattle in it too. I don't know where we were even getting it from in this country, but yeah, it started to make me feel like I was a mechanic or something.
So the thing you go back to then is alcohol for the most part.
Right, yeah, but what I want probably is cocaine, but I know that if I have a drink, then it'll be like, okay, well, I had a drink, then I can do this.
Is cocaine a stronger up?
Yeah. Cocaine
so you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You'll be out on your own porch, and you'll be your own street lamp. You're freaking.
And is that a good feeling?
No,
it's
horrible.
A miserable feeling.
But you do it anyway, just like the guy you're saying with the scotch. Like you.
No,
I would.
It's amazing that's what Trump can talk about. Trump is just so transparent with everything. Jake Tapper pointing out Tim Walz lied. Yeah. Maybe I should turn on the CNN one.
Want the hope of giving birth through IVF, not the fear.
I like
that it might be
Pritzker.
taken away.
That's a bad speech.
Americans with
I mean, you barely even heard anything. Yeah, no, this is a bad speech. You're right.
At school because the state sanctioned it. Americans want to go to their neighborhood grocery store and not.
But it's just hilarious how Trump's asking him like, "Oh yeah." It's just weird to see a politician do that. In a good way. I guess it's like a
Americans
cool
don't want their kids to be taught in history class that slavery
authenticity,
was
yeah.
a jobs program. And if Americans are black or brown, they want to get promoted at work without being derided as a DEI hire for the sin of being successful while not white.
But then why were there quotas that you had to meet certain things with minorities?
Let's be clear. It's not woke that limits economic growth. It's weird.
I think woke is
And these
weird,
guys
though. Isn't that
aren't
a...
just
I
weird,
mean...
they're dangerous.
Crowd not
Democrats are
feeling
for
the big
lower
boy?
taxes and
The
higher
big fella
wages,
bombing.
less inflation and
The
more
big
business
fella.
growth. We just think it's wrong to craft those policies for Elon Musk and not for everyday
Elon
working
Musk is a
people.
superhero. Yes.
That
This is one of their
includes a secure
A-listers.
retirement
This
and
dude's
good
bombing.
healthcare. We think the government should help you prosper, not police who you're sleeping with. More than anything,
Oh,
Democrats
man.
want economic policies.
Kamala
that
is
are
DEI,
kind,
admitted by their own party,
not
DEI.
cruel.
They admitted it.
But Trump chooses cruelty every time.
How many times are they going to talk
After
about
all,
Trump? Back to weird?
everything he's achieved
Yeah,
in
they
his
got
own
they.
life
Oh,
has
he's
been by
weird.
hurting
Whoa, what are we, a
someone
third
else.
grader? You called me weird.
Kamala
Whoa.
Harris and Tim Walz, well, they've spent their lives lifting people up.
There's a classroom at high school that has a big
pushing them
LGBTQ
down.
flag,
They know
non-binary
that a
flag, and
White
American
House
flag.
that leads with
That's crazy. Dude, you know what? That got me
looks at
thinking.
someone who
When
is
I was in
struggling
high school, I never had to deal
and
with that
sees
shit.
not
I was
what
like
they
right
might
before.
cost society,
They were.
but
They,
what
I don't think
they
any
might
teachers. It was just
create
not
for
popular
it.
to have that type of shit.
Americans want policies that give every American a chance to make it to the middle class.
Oh,
they want to
man.
grow small businesses, and Democrats want to cut taxes for everyday people. More than anything, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz want a country where we
Ozempic,
can
dude, there's a
all
lot of
live
people.
with
Dude,
a
whenever
little
someone loses weight,
serenity.
everyone's like, oh, he took
The
Ozempic
serenity
now.
that comes
That's what
with
they
a
say
balanced
whenever someone
checkbook,
loses weight.
An affordable grocery bill.
I mean, there was
and
a face
housing
for
market that has
like you have
room
this
for
weird hollow
everyone.
face when you're on Ozempic.
And if there's one thing I know about Donald Trump, he's not bringing anyone any kind of serenity. We have a choice, America, between the man who
This
left
is gonna
our
lead right
country
into
a total
Obama.
mess, and the woman
Here comes
who has
Obama's
spent
unifying
4 years
speech,
cleaning it
and then
up.
Obama's leaving as well.
And I think it's time we stop expecting women to clean up messes.
This guy would play Chris Christie in a movie about Jeb Bush. Yeah, we need another movie like My Son Hunter. That was a great movie. My Son Hunter.
Vice President was a good title for Kamala Harris, but you know an even better one? President of the United States of America. Let's go.
You kind of have to work to get that, but I guess not. I mean, I guess the strategy is have a president
Please
that's so
welcome
historically bad they have to force him
Chair
out.
and CEO of American Express and current Chair and Managing Director of General Catalyst, Ken Chenault.
Well, it's not Obama yet.
My fellow Americans, for 17 years, I ran American Express, one of the greatest companies in this country. America has thousands of great companies.
Time for
more
Big
than
Mike. Big Mike
any
and then
other
Barack.
nation in the world. And that's not by accident. The United States is the best place in the world to do business because of the values on which our country was built. Democracy,
Because of capitalism, yes.
the rule of law, free and fair elections, the peaceful transfer of power. As a business leader, I have seen
There was a peaceful
firsthand
transfer of power. I
why
mean, Trump left.
democracy is so important. Democracy
Off to the buffet.
provides the foundation
Yeah,
upon which American
McDonald's
business
is calling.
and our economy depend. Character
and values.
That guy looks like a
matter.
cross between Chris Christie
In
and Kim
business,
Jong-un.
Nothing.
That's
is more
interesting, man.
important Than trust.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un and
In
him have
America,
the same hair almost.
We have to trust our president.
Pritzker
will
and Kim
protect
Jong-un.
Democracy.
Will
We
they
have
top
to be
120 Trump mentions?
follow
I mean, it
the
depends
law
how long they
and
have
serve
speakers
the
for.
nation,
I don't think they will
not
because they did the whole
themselves.
delegates thing for most of this, I think.
Requires stability and certainty that our democracy will endure. Our economy and democracy are tightly linked. Both
Your
only
predictions:
grow
OSU,
stronger
Georgia, FSU,
when
K-State,
Americans,
Oregon,
despite our differences, are willing
Bama, Texas,
to
Notre
work
Dame, Mizzou,
together.
Virginia Tech, Penn State, Toledo.
At
Toledo,
this moment,
wow.
When our politics pits one group against another, that's what's remarkable about Kamala Harris. She is for all Americans. She understands it's possible, in fact necessary, for a president
This guy is worth
to be
$200
both
million.
pro-business
Oh, man.
and pro-worker. Kamala Harris understands that government
Well, then he should support,
must work in partnership with the business community. She knows that a market-based economy needs a strong and effective
Oh, my God.
government. Kamala Harris understands that we need to help entrepreneurs turn good ideas into thriving companies.
Dude, this is exactly what I said. I said it would happen in September. Imagine I get that right.
Expand.
That would be a legendary call by
Kamala
me.
Harris believes
If anyone remembers
in
my
growing
call.
the economic pie for the benefit of current and future generations.
Kamala Harris is not black. I think it's irrelevant. Who cares,
She
dude?
knows
She's just
the
not.
way not
She's not
to
good for the
build
country. I
an
mean,
advanced economy
we know what she did.
is
We
a
know
broad
she was
tariff
Indian and now she's.
that would only
But who
raise
cares?
prices
Don't
for
get trapped
consumers
into that.
And businesses and cost jobs. She knows the way not to do it is to give people like me a tax cut when that money should be invested to grow the middle class. If you want to lead,
All right, well then we'll
have
tax
to
you at
be
100%.
willing to serve. Kamala Harris's vision for the economy serves us
He'll be
all.
worth $5. Well, he
She
needs to
has
spread it around. You're right.
throughout her career that she wants to serve all people and wants all Americans to have the
This is the most irrelevant
to
day of the
work
DNC.
to achieve
I guess
their
Obama's
own
speaking, but
share of the American dream. Our economy goes up and down, but the reason America is the strongest nation in the world is because of her commitment to something bigger than ourselves.
why hasn't the police
Our
let the
commitment
abortion pills
to
inside
each
like
other,
an insurrection?
to democracy.
Lead them inside.
That's
Open the doors.
what this election is about. It's more than a choice between two parties or sets of policies. It's a choice about
All right, he's
who
really
we're going
rambling
to
on
be
now.
as a country. In his words and actions, Kamala Harris's opponent has shown us that he does not believe in our democratic values, and he will seek only to serve himself.
I mean, do you believe
and his desire
installing
for
someone in a
vindication
primary system that
and
was a sham?
vengeance. Kamala Harris will face the facts. She will navigate this country, the greatest
This
country
night is
in
terrible.
the
Yeah, I
world,
knew I shouldn't have
through
gone
the
live this night. This
inevitable
was a bad
challenges,
idea.
while also
This was a
leading
waste of
with
time
the
for
hope
me.
and values
This was a
that
misread.
America was founded on. Kamala Harris understands that the role of a leader is to instill
Yeah,
hope,
they are all talking.
to
You're right. You
repudiate
can hear it.
The merchants of fear and focus on ensuring that the
They're
best
talking.
days
Because
are ahead of us. She believes in America.
They're talking
its
louder than
principles,
him.
The hopes
It's all the
and
background
dreams
noise.
of our people and the promise of our future. That is why I believe Kamala Harris should be the next
Yeah, he's doing a
president
hybrid
of
between
the
Kamala
United
and
States
Kamala.
of America. God bless America.
Dougie is speaking tonight. Yeah, that dude's boring as well. It makes sense he would speak.
Obamacare. Donald Trump over the weekend again threatened to repeal Obamacare.
This would lead to Americans having
here comes the guilt trip with people.
There are about 19 million people with coverage through Medicaid expansion, another 16 million enrolled through the ACA's health insurance marketplaces.
Everyone was just talking. That's the sad thing.
Becoming uninsured.
Biggest worries losing.
U.S. citizens are allowed to vote, but illegals are not. If I win the election, everybody caught cheating for any reason will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and that includes Democrat operators and sleazebags who cheated at levels never seen before. No more games. Trump unloading on Truth Social. Yeah, that's a typical Trump
he says he's
tweet.
coming after this. Even if you have insurance from your employer, you will be affected.
They don't even want to listen to it. Yeah, they brushed him off the stage quickly. They moved him out. Trump huge lead.
Please welcome New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham.
Trump's at 52-48 right now.
Good evening, America.
Oh, 52-47, my bad. Yeah, you're right, 52-47.
Governor of the great state of New Mexico. And in my state, we like things spicy. A little chili on everything.
Kamala, 70% chance popular vote. I think that'll go down a bit.
And let me tell you, we are feeling en fuego right now. We are fired up to elect Kamala Harris President of the United States. This election is about protecting
I gotta stay on. I'll stay on for Obama.
The right to
but it looks like they're behind again.
Healthcare.
When is it, dude? If hopefully Walt speaks earlier. Hopefully Walt speaks at like 10 o'clock and not what happened with Biden tomorrow. I'm saying because normally Walt's the VP's tomorrow and then the nominee is on Thursday.
2 years old, my sister was diagnosed with a tumor that was incurable and made her uninsurable by the time
Mexico
she
should
was
be part
3.
of New Mexico.
And it's
We're not giving up New Mexico. We're not giving up that territory. No, it wouldn't make sense.
Someone they love gets
Thanks for this, much needed.
Donald Trump
I mean, this is unfortunately boring.
Want to dismantle our healthcare system, repeal the Affordable Care Act.
Still think North Carolina will go blue. North Carolina, I don't think so, man.
Conditions. Either these guys don't get it.
New NPC just dropped. They're spawning it all over the place. Here's another one.
You know who gets it?
Who is this no name? Who knows, man?
And she cares.
Who knows?
As Attorney General, she took on drug companies that jacked up prices and hospitals that overcharged.
You need caffeine
patients.
to stay awake, yeah.
And when Republicans tried to kill the Affordable Care Act, she stood up in the Senate, voting not just no, but hell no. And Kamala Harris hasn't just stopped Republicans from making our healthcare system worse.
New Mexico is strangely liberal, and like by 7 or 8 points at this point. I think probably it's not crazy
And
liberal.
I know, I spent 20
I mean, you would think on the border,
working to get
they'd be more
Medicare the ability to
conservative.
negotiate lower drug prices. As Vice President, Kamala Harris delivered it.
I mean, it's past 10 o'clock. Come on.
You know what Donald Trump delivered? Junk
Low
plans,
taxes.
higher premiums,
World
and
peace.
abortion bans.
World peace.
And if you don't think a second term would be worse, then I've
Reading
got
from a
box of
teleprompter, they all do
Trump
it. They all
steaks to sell you.
they have 3 of them set up.
We have not just a better choice.
No, the RNC was 4
America,
days.
we have
It was like a
the
month ago.
best choice. Yes, we do. Kamala Harris will protect your right to care. She'll cap drug costs. She'll go after corporate.
I think Ohio will be
price
closer.
gougers
Yeah, I mean,
and
did you see the
ensure
Iowa
every
poll? It was very big.
Who needs it
Iowa might be a
can
15-point
access
win.
reproductive health care. That's the president I want. And that's the president America needs. And with your help, that's the next president.
We're not going to get. I haven't seen Waltz once tonight. Oh, apparently they said they were, and they were doing another rally.
Kamala Harris.
Man, my 1 clock is way ahead. It says it's 10:04.
I love you too.
Well, here comes Obama.
Quiero. So, my mom, like Kamala's mom, got sick.
Oh my
When
God.
my mom died,
Tammy
in
Duckworth still has to
2021,
go.
Kamala called me. She had lost her mother to cancer in 2009. Kamala helped me navigate my grief. She said that heartbreak and loss are the price for having loved and having been loved. How I wish our mothers could be here to see this
The
moment.
Obamas just arrived. Really?
In the next 4 years, America will invariably have moments of great sadness and pain in our country. Some will be natural disasters. Some will
It's
be
boring.
man-made
Let's.
disasters.
There's nothing
We
even.
need a
This is just.
who can not only
This is
be
just Democratic.
commander-in-chief,
This is the
but
big
also
Democrat orgy.
consoler-in-chief.
The
We
giant
need a
orgy. Here it
president
is.
with empathy,
Let's get to an
capable
actual
of
speech.
lifting us up when we are down. We need a president who is
Not this
capable
hug. Not this
of
woman
holding us in a
again.
big, great
Not this
hug
woman again.
when we need
I've
it.
only streamed for an hour and I
is
can't do it
Kamala
tonight
Harris.
with these people.
Donald Trump.
According to CNN, yeah, they probably.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, they probably
is
weren't there,
only
and then they
capable
just
of
got.
holding
It makes
two
sense.
things, a grudge and a
So
golf
here comes
club.
Obama. Oh, we got to do another ad. Oh, we need another ad first. Is that it? Oh, great.
I remember when Kamala was first running for district attorney, and people were like, oh, I don't know if she's tough enough. And I just had to laugh because I'm like, you don't know my sister.
Kamala had been a hard and tough prosecutor in Alameda County.
Yeah, here's the bad. Yep,
prosecuting
this is what I
men
said.
who were
This is
pimping
exactly
young
what I said.
girls
She's a
and
badass
rapists.
prosecutor. Walt is the
Kamala
dumb
wanted
white
to
guy
make
that
sure
stumbles
that
over his own feet.
murderers and child abusers face meaningful accountability and consequences for those actions.
One of the cases that she had early in her career was where a man had scalped his girlfriend. And she ended up getting a conviction, getting justice for that woman.
She came to San Francisco to protect victims, and she was elected to be district attorney of San Francisco. Kamala knew that we needed to be smart on crime, and if hell, no one else was gonna do it, that she was gonna do it.
If I'm going to keep my promise to you to keep you safe, I better talk with you about
Oh,
what
that's
I'm doing in
interesting.
terms of crime prevention. Investing in
What's
people
stopping
coming out of
Kamala or
prison
any other
is
political
the
figure
smart
from
thing to do for law enforcement. Forget that it's
Inspiring and
just the
setting
right
up
thing to do.
guaranteed bets on Polymarket.
That was a young
Dude, there's,
Kamala
there,
Harris.
dude,
She's
there's, it's
only
not
gotten
worth
more
it. They make so much money already.
I've never seen her back down from a fight.
It's not
and when
worth
she
it,
fights,
man.
She wins.
I mean,
When
there's not even
Kamala
like when you look at
became Attorney
Polymarket,
General,
there's
she
really only
wanted
like
to protect people,
$100
but
billion
also
on each
to
total, I
fundamentally
think.
pursue justice.
Oh no, there's
Being
670
smart
million.
on crime
Yeah, I mean, I don't
with
know,
being
man.
tough on violent crime.
From a statewide
I
perspective,
wonder if they will
think
try
we
and
were
ban stuff
concerned
like that,
about
like
the
political
rise
betting.
of gang violence.
In San Joaquin County, we saw this tremendous change in our community, and it hit us like a
Why do
wave.
libs
we
want
saw an increase
to
in
vote for
human
a commie?
trafficking, narcotics.
Well,
and guns.
they don't think
Let
she
it
is
be
one.
clear to anyone who administers this state with
They do like
violence,
socialism.
to those who
Socialism's
prey
like a
on the
watered
weak
down
and the
communism.
vulnerable. Justice will be swift and certain in the state of California.
She was always hunting.
They couldn't
the
pay some
kingpins,
celebrity to
but
announce
we didn't
him.
have partnerships with DOJ.
Yeah, I don't know where the celebrities have been.
FBI,
They didn't.
or DEA,
I haven't seen
or
any
of those
celebrities
law
there.
enforcement agencies. Now we all work collaboratively to help all the counties in California. Because of her, we destabilized organized crime, disrupted.
They're getting Biden set up, or they're getting Obama set up. That's why.
And narcotics.
We are here this afternoon to announce the shutting down of one of the biggest.
Have they put anyone on
and
stage
most
to twerk? No, they haven't done
threats
that.
to the safety of
There's been no like.
I really think of her as
celebrity.
fearless, as a fighter.
Kamala just perseveres, and Mommy would say it's too
Cory
hard is never
Booker.
an excuse. Making excuses is a failure to not only take responsibility, but to take action. If you have the will, the desire, the passion, the commitment, there is no challenge that is insurmountable.
Please welcome the Democratic nominee for Senate in Maryland, Angela Alsobrooks.
Good evening, America, and hello, Maryland.
This may be the most boring hype video. Yeah, they're trying to make her seem like a badass prosecutor.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wish Lori Lightfoot came out. It'd be interesting.
People like me, stories like mine, don't usually make it to the United States Senate, but they should.
Last night was more interesting. Yo, dude, last night had some good moments. I'm not gonna lie. This is worse.
Sarah Daisy,
This is a lot worse.
who raised her
What am I gonna do for the
3
anniversary of
children
9/11?
in a
As long as it's a
one-bedroom
weekday, I'll
apartment.
do a live stream for it.
It was her dream to work in government to help people. That meant taking a typing test.
Do you think there will be
But she
unrest
didn't know
if
how
they
to
steal
type,
again at this point?
and she
Well, I
couldn't
mean, dude,
afford a
it's.
typewriter.
Let's be honest. If Trump loses, there's gonna be a
she put
level.
a
There's gonna be
white piece of
unrest
paper
because.
on the refrigerator.
Like, we'll see what happens, but
and
there
drew a
probably will be
keyboard
something.
on it.
Yeah.
And every night, she stood in front of that refrigerator and taught
Yeah, she probably will
herself
win in
to
Maryland as
type.
well. Yeah.
She took the test, passed it, and got the job she dreamed of. I am her legacy. And tonight, I am a candidate for United States Senate from the great state of Maryland.
I mean, I can just yawn on command.
I've always been inspired by women like my grandmother. Women who
Of course,
imagine
Obama's gotta be
a better
late, yeah.
future and then have the grit.
We're just
to
waiting
make
for
it a
Obama.
reality. One of those women is a friend, a mentor, and a role
New York
model.
Times reporting that Biden signed a
woman
secret order in
is
March to
Kamala
command
Harris.
U.S. forces to prepare for simulations. Simultaneously,
Let me
nuclear
tell
war with
you
China, Russia. Yeah.
About the Kamala I've known for 14 years. I first heard about her in 2009.
That was back
when
in
I was
March.
running for state's attorney in Prince George's County, Maryland.
Matt Walsh is not sure why he's at the DNC. Matt Walsh is dressed up at the DNC
in San Francisco
for his movie.
using new ideas to keep her community safe. Few had a better
Trump rumored to
record
announce a plan to make it a
violent
felony
crime.
for doctors to perform
She put rapists,
gender reassignment
child molesters,
surgeries on
and
minors
murderers
without
behind
parental
bars.
consent.
But what she
This is a
knew
really,
was that
this is
violent
something that
crime
is,
accounts for about
there's
30%
bipartisan
of
support. I mean,
all
there's
crimes.
70% of the country
For the
agrees that kids shouldn't be
70%
transitioning.
that are nonviolent, she created a first-of-its-kind program called Back on Track.
9/11 is a Wednesday.
After serving time,
Yeah, then
and
I'll be able to
pleading
live
guilty,
stream it.
These low-level offenders will get the job training,
Anniversary again of
GED
9/11, huh?
help, and apprenticeships they needed
23 years,
to find a job.
I think.
The result? The recidivism rate plummeted. Now, after reading about this super bad district attorney, I talked nonstop about her on the campaign trail. 2 days after I won the election, my phone rings. It's Kamala Harris calling to congratulate me and ask how she could help. She helped me bring Back on Track to Maryland.
Pay
And
me
wouldn't
by
you know it,
clicking on the
crime
dem
went
ads.
down,
Yeah, but this is going to end up getting not... I'm not going to be able to make money from this because the songs are going to copyright it.
Now, Donald Trump says if Kamala Harris is elected, tough guys will treat her like
yeah,
a
you shouldn't be
slave.
consenting to that for a kid. That's ridiculous.
Do you know who else?
I mean, it would have to be a crazy situation.
The drug cartel she busted. The big oil companies she made pay for pollution.
The concept of World War III. Yeah, World War III is not something that can happen. World War III cannot happen.
Dollars to homeowners they
If
ripped
World War
off.
III happens, hopefully I've already made money to the point where I've got most of everything out. Because if I haven't made money by the time World War III happens,
And hear me.
it's all going to zero. World War III is the one thing that could just destroy
off the streets.
a lot of people's lives. Even if nothing really happens, just the speculation if it actually kicks off, even if no nukes
of the Oval Office.
come out. The speculation will kill everything.
Ever since Donald Trump rode down that ridiculous escalator, we as a nation have felt
Why would you?
trapped.
Wait, what's ridiculous about an escalator?
Decision
That was
has
kind of a
been made
strange
in reaction
statement.
to this
The
one
ridiculous
man
escalator.
and his
It's just an
extremist
escalator.
MAGA movement. We are still frozen by the fear that Donald Trump
MAGA.
might once again come to power. And it's not
MAGA,
just
what a
our
genius
politics that have been
party.
trapped. It's our imagination. And then Kamala came along. Kamala
Yeah, she was
has
picked as a VP
reminded us
by DEI.
that
That's
we
how she
don't
came
need to
along.
fear anything.
They act like this woman had this
the
uplifting
future,
primary run.
and
It just
certainly
didn't. It doesn't
not
exist.
That man. This is our moment.
Yeah, she was criticizing an escalator. That was weird, man.
Where he belongs.
Hashtag stop escalator
in
hate.
America's past.
That ridiculous looking escalator.
We stand with Kamala Harris because we, as a country,
Do you ever watch the All In podcast? No, it's hard for me to do podcasts just because they take a lot of time. Really, the only podcast I've ever stuck to for a while was Rogan back in like 2016, 2017. Dude, I used to listen to Rogan when I was like I was out like in greenhouses and stuff, just moving plants and stuff.
To make sure that women
I mean, I only made it was like $9 an hour. It's pretty crazy. It's crazy how life works. Like, imagine I was making $9 an hour, and it's a lot different now.
Can't see in the morning until can't see at night. Not so that they will
I mean, I don't know what she had against the. I don't know the escalator. What was wrong with the escalator? Was it gold?
Have a better life. We are not going back.
I agree. We're not going back to
When
Biden.
facing an obstacle, my father has often said to me, "Your faith is stronger than your fears."
World War III. Yeah, World War III would
Tonight,
just. We would have to just.
Is stronger than our fears.
People would imagine the news covering
in
World
the
War
promise
III.
of
The
America.
media.
Faith in the American idea, in the American values that we share. Faith that we, the people, can choose
What
a
job
new
was
leader,
it? Shop
a
bitch.
better future
No.
for
It was
the
just like a
people.
job at a green, like a garden center.
That as dark as our days and challenges have sometimes
Turn it to
felt,
CNN.
It's always
I mean, CNN's gonna be the same
darkness
thing.
before the dawn.
I don't even know if CNN has one going right now. The Hill. Man, they got 32K. Oh, they're ahead, I think. I think CNN's ahead.
Good evening. I have a confession to make. I'm a lifelong Republican.
Oh, here we go.
So, I feel a little out of place tonight.
Yeah, he's better than all of
I
us. He
feel more
switched
at
to the
home
Democrats
here
because
than
he's
in
so much
today's
smarter than
Republican
us.
Party.
So.
The grand old party has been kidnapped by extremists and devolved into a cult.
We're going to see
The
anti-Trump
cult of
riots.
Donald Trump. Trump doesn't
I
know
don't
the
think there's
first
going to be
thing
riots,
about
man.
public
People are going to be
service.
pissed, obviously.
Like a child, he acts purely out of self-interest.
You're better than us,
We
man.
all
You're better
need
than us,
an
yeah.
adult in the White House. And we've seen what happens when we don't have one.
Tommy, I appreciate
Trump
it.
made a lot of lofty promises.
Fuck Joe Biden, fuck Kamala
Unlimited
Harris.
economic growth, American manufacturing reborn, a secure border. Turns out Donald Trump was all talk. He wanted our votes, but he couldn't deliver
check out
a
the
thing.
nose. Well,
but these days, my city of Mesa, Arizona is on the move. I'm going
he's
to
better
ribbon
than us.
cuttings
He's not a
every
liberal.
single week.
He's seen
All
the
because
light.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris reached across the aisle and they delivered for my conservative community and countless more across the country. My hero, John McCain, taught us to put country over party. And that's how Vice President Harris and Governor Walz will lead too.
How can you be a Republican and like what they're talking about when it comes to any of the
taxes
taxes?
For the majority of Americans
or any
like
of these
me
economic
are in the
policies.
political
There's
middle.
just no way.
John
it's just
McCain's
all
Republican
fake anyways.
Party is gone,
Even if you were
and
a
we don't
Republican
own
that
a
hated
damn
Trump,
thing
you
to
wouldn't
what's
vote
been
for
left
Harris. It's
behind.
just not. If you're a true Republican who has those principles, that's why it's
So
all
let's
fake. I mean,
turn
they
the
pay these people to
page.
do this.
Let's put country first. Let's put adults in the room where our country deserves. Thank you.
Well, so apparently the adults, they opened the borders on us now. The adults were in the room. Yeah, the adults like Biden, who has to sleep like 22 hours a day.
It's our dream to have a large family.
Being a parent, it's the most important thing in my life.
For decades, Americans have turned to the miracle of IVF treatments.
She felt like a dream come true.
The fact that she was able to build a family, that's why I do what I do.
Without IVF, I don't know how this would have been possible.
IVF treatment
IVF.
gives many patients an opportunity to have a family.
I love that I get to help people every day become parents.
I still hope RFK Jr. endorses Trump. It's going to be epic. It's going to happen.
They are attacking the right to expand and start a family.
It's going to happen.
It's unthinkable.
They may never
You hope
have
Corn
a
Pop
family
speaks?
that they've dreamt
Yeah,
of.
dude.
In the U.S. Senate,
Bear states became lost.
Democratic bill
Florida,
that would
Ohio,
establish protections
Iowa,
for in vitro fertilization.
North Carolina,
Mr.
even
Vance,
Indiana. Yeah, losing
no.
Indiana is
If Republicans
just
actually
dude,
cared
losing
as much
Indiana.
about
You're
protecting
just
IVF,
so
this would have
cooked.
been a
A
simple
Republican
yes
losing
vote.
Indiana.
Family means support.
To me, family is your whole world. It's the life that you build.
IVF made my family.
It made my heart whole.
It made my life full.
It made my life full.
And it made my life full.
Remember when
And we
Kamala
will
got booed
always
at March
fight
Madness
for
game
you,
in Des Moines?
for your
Yeah, you know, whenever
family,
like
for
the
your
Democrats go to those
freedoms and for
like
your
events with
future.
college kids, they just
Kamala Harris
guaranteed
and
get
Tim
booed.
Walz honor the freedoms
They
of all
guaranteed will get
families
booed.
to make decisions about what is right for them, for this generation and generations
I wonder how that
to
guy
come.
feels about unrealized capital gains tax. Yeah, it's totally ridiculous that any Republican would
Please
support
welcome Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth.
that. Yeah, we saw this one coming from a mile away. We saw this one coming from a mile away.
Hello, Chicago! Hello, Chicago! You know, I went to war
Sean, yep,
to
I
protect
appreciate it, man. Trump
America's
2024.
rights and freedoms.
1776.
So I take it personally when a five-time draft
They try and
dodging
compare January
coward
6th to 1776.
like Donald Trump tries to take away
They act like he's a draft dodger.
tries to
Their
take
hero
away
was
my
a draft
rights and
dodger.
freedoms in return, especially when it concerns my daughters.
Millions of people did that.
My girls, gamer girl Abigail and queen of the monkey bars Miley, are everything to me. But they would never have been born without access to reproductive care.
I mean, but why are they obsessed with abortions?
After
I mean,
10
why is that
years
the thing that you?
of struggling with
it's such a
infertility,
just.
I was only able to have them through the miracle of IVF. But
I
now,
guess they're not, she's not talking about abortion.
Trump's anti-woman crusade has put other Americans
Stolen valor.
right to have
Yeah,
their own families
They're
at
not going
risk.
to talk about it. They're like, oh, he served 24
Because
years.
if they
Yeah, that's not what
win,
stolen valor is.
Republicans
It's when you
will
lie
not
about
stop
your
at
rank.
banning abortion. They will come for IVF next. They'll prosecute doctors. They will shame and spy on women.
Mitt Romney won in 2012 Indiana. I mean, Romney was a bit better than McCain.
Just look up
in terms
what
of how he
happened
did,
in
but he still got
Alabama
crushed
last year.
for all intents and purposes.
So let me say to every would-be parent, I see you. I'm with you. And together, in November, we'll send a message to old Cadet Bones.
Surprised they haven't claimed monkey bars as racist. Oh, that's coming next, I'm sure. Yeah, what happened with Waltz and IVF? That just came out. That he lied about it?
And we'll add it out of the Oval Office, too. Look, my struggle with infertility was more painful than any wound I earned on the battlefield. So how dare a convicted felon like Donald Trump treat women seeking health care like they're the ones breaking the law? How dare J.D. Vance criticize childless women on cable news?
Yeah, they try to turn Vance against women.
Then vote against legislation that would have actually helped Americans to start
was honest
families.
about what he said, and that's why when you look at the demographics, it's only single women that support the left.
The GOP endangered the dreams of countless veterans whose combat wounds prevent them from having kids without IVF, punishing our heroes for their willingness to serve. It's simple. Every American deserves the right to be called mommy or daddy without
then why do they
being
support
treated
abortion?
like a criminal. Kamala Harris believes that. So,
Where's
let's make
Obama?
some
Yeah, I'm
history
waiting for Obama.
and elect her in November. God bless America.
Here comes Obama.
This is my dad, Doug. He was raised in Jersey, moved to LA when he was 16. These are his parents.
They overuse the term convicted felon. Well, I actually think they've not used it as much because it kind of backfired on them.
This is what he wore to his bar mitzvah. And here's
they kind of shut up about it for a little bit.
They voted him most athletic, so he says. This is a photo McDonald's
from
used
Akron,
when he was
Ohio.
employee
Jason,
of the
what's
month.
up, man?
It hung on our wall for
Did
years.
Crooks speak yet? Remember what they did? They cremated Crooks, apparently.
My dad is a lawyer, a really good one. My mom called him the crisis guy because he was everyone's first call.
Do we want abortion outlawed? I think it's a state issue. The states can decide.
Easy for any kid.
But I mean, I could give you some of my thoughts. I think there's a very deep thing with something like that. It's very deep, but it's
it's Kamala, the blind date that
hard to say,
change
you know,
all of our
on
lives
YouTube
forever. It was my senior year of high school.
Oh, not Dougie. Dougie.
In 2014, Kamala became Mamala. She took over Sunday night dinners and taught Doug how to actually cook.
Who is this soy boy narrating it?
Politics or the spotlight, but when Kamala became senator, we were all excited to step up, especially my dad. Then Kamala became vice president. It felt like Doug
did you
was
see
a
his
bit out of
daughter?
place on Capitol
What was
Hill.
his daughter wearing?
I thought, what is my goofy dad doing here? But he embraced it. He left his practice after being a lawyer for 30 years. That was tough. I was so proud to watch him do it, to stand by her side, an example of true partnership. I just got married myself.
Tell us about. Wait, does Dougie have something to say about
really
a babysitter?
He's kind,
I think that's coming up next.
Loving.
She has no kids.
Protective.
Yeah, I know. It's a big problem.
Just look at this face.
What is that?
My dad.
Was he like at a
second gentleman?
He was like trying to back away from a fight or something.
He's found
Doug and Waltz are cucks. Yeah, that's legitimately true.
But to speak up.
But Waltz is next
There
level.
is an epidemic of
I mean, Waltz
hate,
is just the king of it, man. He's the
crisis of
king.
anti-Semitism in our country and around the world. What they are doing on reproductive freedom and freedom in general is just outrageous.
And next, he's gonna make history again as the first.
It is crazy. What you know? They're trying to do this motivational thing. Do people know?
Wait for everyone to get to know why we all love him. He's the glue that keeps this family together. We might not look like other families in the White House, but we are ready to represent all families in America.
Please welcome my dad, the second gentleman of the United States, Doug Emhoff.
This dude's like 35 himself. His son's 35. Oh, here we go with the songs. This song. Oh, not this again. Not the fake crying. Coach. Dude, I'm gonna lose it when Waltz comes out with the coach.
Thank you, Cole.
This is not gonna be as good as Coach.
I guess he didn't want me to give this speech. He just... Thank you so much. Hello. Thank you. Hello to my big, beautiful, blended family up there. I love you so much. Aren't you proud of Cole? Wow. And a special shout out to my mother.
It just seems so fake.
My mother is the only
My
person
mother.
in the whole world who thinks Kamala is the lucky one for marrying me.
What a simp.
And to Kamala, who, well, we just saw where she is. She's out on the trail, listening.
But what did this is the dynamic. This is the ultimate dynamic. Male, female. Your wife gets more attention than you. She has more power than you politically. I can't deal with that, bro. That's not a sexist thing. That's a feeling men get.
Of how you're stepping up.
It's just like whoa.
But that's who she is.
It's the whole thing with dynamics and
Wherever
prices.
she's
I don't
needed,
want my girlfriend
however
making more
she's
money than me.
needed, Kamala rises to the occasion. And she did it for me and our family. And now that the country needs her, she's showing you what we already know. She's ready to lead. She brings both joy and toughness to this task. And she will be a great president we will all be proud of.
Can you debate Kyle Kalinske, I think? Yeah, that dude,
I'm the son of
that dude's
two
not going to debate me.
Brooklynites.
That dude would
Mike
only
and
debate
Barb.
me if I somehow got on Piers
They've
Morgan.
been together almost 70 years. My dad worked
Most
in the
people,
shoe
like, you
business
have to
in
get, like, into the
Manhattan,
mainstream to debate people.
And he moved our family
You have
out
to be
New
like a
Jersey.
big player.
Where's New Jersey? I see you out there. When I was a little kid.
Mother.
In a lot of ways, I had a typical Jersey suburban childhood.
It was really boring earlier.
I took the bus to Hebrew school.
Yeah, this was
And
this was
rode
funny, I
to
guess.
Little League
This dude's
practice
just
in
so.
the way back
I think
of
Waltz
my
is the real
coach's
thing. I'm more excited for
station
Waltz than
wagon.
Kamala. Maybe if Kamala starts
if we did
laughing a
well,
bunch, like
we got to
uncontrollably, it
have a
might be good.
Slurpee after. In my neighborhood, everyone left their garage door open. Wherever you ended up at dinner time, that's the family that fed you. Everyone took care of everyone else. And the guys I grew up with are still my best friends.
What was
The
his
group
daughter
chat
wearing
is active
yesterday?
every
Like,
day, and it's probably blowing up right
it's just,
now, guys.
oh my god. You're at a big event
My
here.
dad had
I
to get a
mean,
new job. We moved across
you're
the
going to
country
bed. You're
LA.
lucky, man.
Money was tight. Hey, California.
You're real lucky. I have to sit and wait for Obama. Obama's 3 minutes late. There's a shock.
Money was
That's how
tight,
these political
so
things, it's
I
always
worked at
45,
McDonald's in high
50 minutes
school for
late.
some extra cash. Not only was I Employee of the Month, but I still have the frame picture, which you
He's
just
talking about
saw.
being Employee of the Month at, like,
And
Rite
there
Aid.
was a ring, golden arches and all.
Oh, McDonald's?
And then I waited tables.
No,
parked
he was
cars.
actually talking
I
about
was
being
working
Employee of the Month at
full-time,
McDonald's.
so I could afford to go to college.
Wait, didn't Kamala talk about being at
thanks
McDonald's or
to-
something?
Thanks to partial scholarships, student loans, and a little help from my dad, I got myself through law school. And I got my first job as a lawyer.
Why are you concerned about his
Which
daughter?
is
Well, I mean, I think
also
she's
where I met the
I think she's
guys
grown
in
enough to
my
where she can dress
fantasy
properly. It's just
football league.
weird.
And a lot has changed in our lives since the early 90s, but my team name is still Nirvana. Yes, after the band. I worked hard, and I love being a
Yeah,
lawyer.
the soy is leaking
and
out
by the way,
here.
I still get to be part of the profession by teaching students at Georgetown Law School. I got married, became a dad to Cole and Ella.
Harris was
Unfortunately,
exactly
went through a
SV,
divorce.
exactly. That's exactly what I say.
eventually started
Dude,
worrying
there's
about
clips
how I
of
would make it all work.
of Stephen Colbert
That's when something
saying
unexpected
that
happened.
Harris has an approval rating of 28. They should
2013,
remove her. She's
I
weighing
walked
down
into
Biden.
a contentious client meeting. We worked through the issue, and
He
by
was
the end
employee of the
meeting,
month at
now
Victoria's
happy
Secret.
client
Yeah, something like that.
offered to set me up on a blind date, which is how I ended up with Kamala Harris's phone number. Now, for generations, people have debated when to call the person you're being set up with. And
Oh, there
never
it is,
in
the teleprompter.
history has anyone suggested 8:30 a.m.
Is this guy? Yeah, probably GME.
And yet-
GME.
That's when
I mean, he's definitely
dialed.
he's a massive simp.
I
At
got
least.
Kamala's voicemail, and I just started rambling. Hey, it's Doug. I'm on my way to an early meeting. Again, it's
This is
Doug.
so bad, man. This is.
I remember I was trying to
It's
grab
painful.
the words out of the air
It's
and just
painful.
put them back in my mouth. And for what seemed like far too many minutes, I hung up. By the way, Kamala saved that voicemail, and she makes me listen to it on every anniversary. But that message wasn't the only unusual thing about that day. Now, Kamala, who normally would have been working hard at her office, just happened to be waiting at her apartment for a contractor to do some work on her kitchen. I was eating
Yeah,
at
they
my
gotta do
desk,
this.
which was not a regular occurrence for a busy lawyer like me who appreciated a good business lunch.
This is what they got to do.
That's when she called me back. And we talked for an hour, and we laughed. Well, you know that laugh. I love that laugh. And maybe that counted as our first date. Or maybe it was that Saturday night when I picked her up and told her, buckle up, I'm a really bad driver. Because you can't hide anything from Kamala Harris.
It's
so you
just
might as
all
well
so
own it.
corny. It seems so
And
like all the
as I
it's
got to know her better,
we met this way, and I was a
fell in
bad
love
driver,
fast.
and I got her phone number in the most
I
awkward
learned
way. And
what drives Kamala. And it's what you've seen over these past 4 years, and especially these past 4 weeks. She finds joy in pursuing justice. She stands up to bullies just like my parents taught me to. And she likes to see people do well, but hates when they're treated unfairly.
what does he think of Willie Brown?
She
You're right.
believes
That's a good
this
question.
work requires a basic
Oh, I mean, I guess he got back. He got
People
the
are
the
doing.
babysitter.
Her empathy is her strength.
It's like a bad used car salesman.
Over the past decade, Kamala has connected me more deeply to my faith, even though it's not the same as hers.
I'm the biggest
She
cuck.
comes to synagogue
Yeah, I
with
think
me
Waltz
for
might be. At least
holiday
Waltz is funny
services,
about it,
and
though.
I go to church with her for Easter. I get to enjoy her mom's chili relleno recipe every Christmas, and she makes a mean brisket for Passover. It brings me right back to my grandmother's apartment in Brooklyn, you know, the one with the plastic-covered couches. But Kamala has fought against anti-Semitism.
Do you think this will hurt Dems? No, this is just a rah-rah speech. You know, it's not going to do anything either way.
She's the one who encouraged me as second gentleman to take up that fight, which is so
This is the prototypical speech that you hear from the loved ones.
Those of you who belong to blended families know that they can be a little complicated. But as soon as our kids started calling her Mama,
yeah, he did pork the babysitter.
I knew we'd be okay.
But no, they're all fine. It's kumbaya.
Ella calls us a three-headed parenting machine. Kamala and Kirsten, thank you both. Thank you both for always putting your family and the kids first. Now, Cole and Ella's friends knew that when they'd come over for Sunday dinner with Mamala, it was going to be real
There it is,
fun.
Mamala.
In between taking cooking instructions, they'd have to answer questions about what problem they wanted to solve in the world. They learned that you've always got to be prepared because Kamala
My God, I thought this was we were going to, you know, it lasts and everything has to last 3 hours.
Cole and Greenlee told us that they were engaged. They asked
Scumbucket
Kamala
Harris declined the debate. I know.
Wedding.
It's been reported, Tommy.
And
Trump said it.
In the same way that
Not
she
surprised.
always steps up when it matters, Kamala put so much time into those remarks, and she bound them in a book that matched her dark red dress, and then turned that into a gift for the happy couple. A few days ago,
if I was caught by my
this
wife having an affair with a
incredible
babysitter in my
time
head,
there was a brief window.
yeah, no,
when
that way it
Kamala
would be a
was
total
back at home.
separation. It's
And I
ridiculous.
saw her sitting on her favorite chair, and in the middle of a wild month, I just hoped that she was having a quiet moment to herself. But then I realized she was on the phone. And of course, my mind went to all the potential crises that the vice president could be dealing with.
Yeah, this is a crisis. They're installing her illegally.
Foreign? Was it campaign? I could see she was focused. And all I knew was that it must be something important.
He just sounds like Peg
And
Me
it turns
Harder
out it
Mama.
was. Ella had called her. That's Kamala. That's Kamala. Those kids are her priorities, and that scene was a perfect map of her heart.
Alex Jones posted that
always
sources
been
inside
there for
RFK's
our
campaign
children,
said he's
and
endorsing
I know she'll
Trump
always
Friday
be
at
there
an
for
event.
yours
Well, see,
too.
that makes sense because it's after the DNC. It's right after the DNC. That does make sense.
Kamala
Alex has
is a
great sources
joyful
too.
warrior.
That's probably gonna happen.
It's doing for her country what
Yeah,
she has
boom,
always done for the
boom.
people that she loves.
And Trump steals the momentum right back on
all
Friday.
of us when she's our
Trump's
president.
just a great politician. Trump's just a great
And
leader.
here's the thing about joyful warriors. They're still warriors. And Kamala is as tough
Dude,
as
I
it
said,
comes.
I told you guys
Just
RFK was
ask
dropping
the
out. I
criminals,
told
the
you.
global gangsters,
Yeah,
and the
it's 1,000%
witnesses
gonna
before
happen.
the Senate Judiciary Committee. She never runs from a fight. And she knows the
Breaking
best way
news.
to deal with a coward is to take him head on.
RFK
Because we
dropping
all know
out to
cowards
endorse
are weak,
Trump
Kamala
and help
Harris
Trump
can
and just give
smell
Trump a massive
weakness.
lead.
She doesn't tolerate any BS. You've all seen that look, and you know that look I'm talking about.
Today's
That look is
RFK
not
coming
just
out
a
against
meme.
the
It reflects
Democrats.
her true belief in honest and direct leadership. And it's also why she will not be distracted by nonsense. Kamala knows that in order to win, we cannot lose focus. America.
Trump has
in
done
this
it again.
election, you
Trump
have
has
to
gotten
decide
it
who to
again.
trust with your family's future. I trusted Kamala
Read it
with
and
our
wait.
family's future. It was the best decision.
That will be.
I ever
It's not
made.
going to be a 3 to 5%
This
bump,
Thursday
man.
will
There's
be
no
our
way.
10th wedding anniversary, which I know it means I'm about to hear that embarrassing voicemail again.
Hey, what's up, man?
However,
Yeah,
that's not
huge
all I'll be
news.
hearing. That same
Huge
night,
news.
I'll be hearing my wife, Kamala Harris, accept your nomination for President of
Oh
the
my
United
God, we've
States.
heard enough. Jesus Christ.
And with your help, she will lead with joy and toughness, with that laugh and that look, with compassion and conviction. She'll lead from the belief that wherever we come from, whatever we look like, we're strong.
How would Alex has been right on a lot with a lot of sources recently. So it's not surprising.
Kamala Harris.
But understand, guys, Jones has called a lot of stuff.
At an important moment in my life.
And when it comes to like this, it makes sense on Friday because it's right after the DNC.
Thank you so
And
much.
remember, I already predicted this. I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, this is a 3D chess move by Trump to do this on Friday. Oh, the song. I want to see what Obama's song is. It's going to be some evil. Obama's going to come in like a badass. I'm taking over this party again. Your nomination? Yeah, I mean, certainly it's her nomination. None of those people voted for it, but...
Please welcome former First Lady Michelle Obama.
Oh, man. Here it is. Here are the Obamas. Yeah, you're right, it is. Snoop fan, you're right. Yep, they still worship.
Thank you, guys.
In the house.
Okay. We got a big night ahead. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, God, no. Oh, man, that got the chat riled up. The chat's riled up now, yeah, that's... Oh, yeah, wait.
Hello, Chicago!
Yep, here comes the 30 minutes of applause.
Yeah. All right. Something wonderfully magical is in the air, isn't it? Yeah. You know, we're feeling it here in this arena, but it's spreading all across this country we love. A familiar feeling that's been buried too deep for
How many times can she rep 225? Maybe 3 or 4 reps.
You know what I'm talking about. It's the contagious power of hope.
Yeah, here it is. This is what hope and where's the actual policy?
The energy, the exhilaration of
there's so much energy. Yeah, they tell you to clap. People clap.
Of a brighter day. The chance to vanquish the demons of fear, division, and hate that have consumed us and continue pursuing the unfinished promise of this great nation, the dream that our parents and grandparents fought and died and sacrificed for. America, hope is making a comeback.
This is what they do at their rallies. They talk for 3 seconds, then there's applause for 30 seconds.
To be honest,
joy and hope, yep.
I am realizing that until recently, I have mourned the dimming of that hope. And maybe you've experienced the same feelings. Is that deep pit in my stomach, a palpable sense of dread about the future.
You called it. Yeah, what with RFK? Yeah, people have told me that people respect me because of that.
The last
That's
time
a big
I was here
political
in
call
my
for me.
hometown was to memorialize my mother, the woman who showed me the meaning of hard work and humility and decency, the woman who set my moral compass high.
RFK dropped out. Is that official though?
And showed me the power of my own voice. Folks,
do you think World War III is inevitable? Well, of course it's inevitable. It's going to happen at some point. If so, blame Russia. I probably blame the Middle East. I think the Middle East is a mess, man. But maybe, I mean, what Russia did was bad, I agree.
My heart compelled me to be here because of the sense of duty that I feel to honor her memory. And to remind us all.
RFK, huge call by me.
Not to squander the sacrifices our elders made to give us a better future. You see,
will Rogan endorse
my
Trump?
mom,
I think eventually.
in her
I don't
steady,
know. I think
quiet
eventually he
way,
will.
lived out that striving sense of hope.
He'll probably say
every
Trump's the lesser of two
single
evils type
day
thing.
of her life. She believed that all
Yeah, he's going to be
children,
Attorney
all
General. I
people
heard that.
have value, that anyone can succeed if given the opportunity. She and my father didn't aspire to be wealthy.
Yeah,
In
this is a
fact,
clear
they were
rah
suspicious of
rah.
folks who took more
We
than
hope
they
and
needed.
yes, we.
They understood.
And then
that it
Obama's going to
wasn't
come in
enough
and be the
for their
badass, like,
kids
oh,
to
Trump's
thrive
horrible, he's a
if
demon.
Everyone else around us
Barack,
was
that is.
drowning. So my mother volunteered at the local school.
One good thing about Barack, he's
always
an
looked
incredible
out for the
speaker.
other kids
Well,
on the
he's
block.
certainly better than
She was
certainly
glad
better
to
than a lot
do
of the speakers we've had
thankless,
recently. Yes.
unglamorous work that for generations has strengthened.
If World War
the
III happens,
fabric of
history would
this
look back and
nation.
say Ukraine, Russia was the beginning.
Belief that
Well, it
if
depends.
You do unto others. If
I mean, what if
you
we have
love thy
stabilization
neighbor,
for the
if
next
you
20 years?
Work and scrape
Just
and
depends.
sacrifice, it will pay off. If not for you, then maybe for your children or your grandchildren. You see, those values have been passed on through family farms and factory towns, through tree-lined streets and crowded tenements, through prayer groups and National Guard units
Tulsi
and
will be.
social studies
Chilling
classrooms.
Tulsi will be, I agree.
Those were the values my mother poured into me until her very last breath. Kamala Harris and I built our lives on those same foundational values. Even though our mothers grew up an ocean apart, they shared the same belief in the promise of this country. That's why her mother moved here from India at 19. It's why she
How is the
taught
speech going so far?
Kamala
This
about
speech,
justice,
it's a rah-rah,
about the
hope
obligation
and
to lift
American
others
dreams
up,
type stuff. She really
about
didn't go
our
after Trump at all.
responsibility to give more than we take. She'd often tell her daughter, don't sit around and complain about things, do something. So, with that voice in her head, Kamala went out and she worked hard in school, graduating from an HBCU, earning her law degree at a state school. And then she went on to work for the people, fighting to hold lawbreakers accountable, strengthening the rule of law, fighting to get folks better wages, cheaper prescription drugs, a good education, decent health care, child care, elder care. From a middle-class household, Kamala worked her way up to
And
become
destroying any of our
Vice
investments as well.
President
It's
of the United
the
States
American
of
dream.
America. My girl,
Just got a Harris ad. Doesn't surprise me.
Kamala Harris, is
I really
more
should stop putting
than
ads on
ready
these
for this
videos. I'm not even
moment.
going to get paid for them.
She is
Or the
one
live
of
streams,
most
I mean.
qualified people ever to seek the office of the presidency. And
She failed the bar. Harris did, yes.
she is one of the most dignified. A tribute to her mother, to my mother, and to your mother too.
If Trump loses, he'll tell his fans to move to
embodiment
Russia. I don't know about
of
that,
the
man.
stories
I know.
we
I
tell
did see that because
ourselves
people were
about
telling me
this
yesterday that
country.
Russia is like
Her
trying to be the
story
new
is your
like
story.
sanctuary
It's
for
my story.
people in the
It's
West that have
story
been
of the vast
ruined by
majority
all
of
the
Americans
immigration, things like
trying
that.
to build a better life. Look, Kamala knows, like we do, that regardless of where you come from, what you look like, who you love, how you worship, or what's in your bank account, we all deserve the opportunity to build a decent life. All of our contributions deserve to be accepted and valued.
Just Hillary's speech, but with someone more. Yeah, Hillary's speech was kind of forgettable. I don't even remember it, honestly.
On what it means to be an American. No one.
What do you think happens if Trump loses? Will he start a civil war?
Her allegiance
No, he
to
won't,
this
man.
nation, not by spewing anger and bitterness, but by living a life of service and always pushing the doors of opportunity open to others. She understands that most of us will never be afforded the grace
Yeah,
of
it seems like this is the
failing
common cookie cutter speech.
forward. We will never benefit from the affirmative action of generational wealth.
The formative action of generational wealth.
If we bankrupt
That wealth
a
employs
business,
millions of Americans.
if we bankrupt a business or choke in a crisis, we don't get a second, third, or fourth chance. If
Yeah, that's what
things
bankruptcy is.
don't go our way, we don't have the luxury of whining or cheating others
Move
to get
to Argentina
further
so
ahead.
MAGA
No.
lives on. It's not gonna happen.
We don't get to change
I think
the
Barack is
rules
speaking.
So we always win. If we see a mountain in front of us, we don't expect there to be an escalator waiting to take us to the top.
What is with these people and the escalator? Was that seriously a reference to Trump coming down the
In
escalator?
America, we do something.
What is with the escalators?
Her entire life. That's what we've seen from Kamala Harris. The steel of her spine.
I like your the confidence, but they already stole her. Yeah, dude? I was watching Alex Jones. He was like, in all the internal polls, Trump's really up by 15. They're gonna try and steal it, so Trump's gonna have to win by 10.
It couldn't be more obvious. Of the two major candidates in this race, only
Yeah, I don't know
Kamala
what the
Harris
escalator
truly
thing is.
understands
I mean,
the
Trump came down an
unseen
escalator. I don't know.
labor and unwavering commitment that has always made America great. Now, unfortunately, we know what comes next. We know folks are going to do everything they can to distort her truth.
What is her
My
truth
husband
exactly?
and
How
I
did she
sadly
win?
know
How did she
something
get
about
this in this position to where she's running? What
For
did she do to
years,
deserve that?
Donald Trump did everything
No, we're
in
not
his
gonna go there,
power
guys.
to try to make people fear us. See, his
That's why your party
limited,
tried killing
narrow
Trump and
view
blowing
of
his
the
head off.
world
That's
made
real
him
rich.
feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
Yep, there it is, the race card. Go buy stock in escalators. They're going up. I mean, she said the price. They're going up. I mean,
I want to know.
escalators need to escalators rising. New
Who's going
movie.
to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
Oh my God, yeah, that's why Trump's got like 50% support with black men. Highest for a Republican ever.
It's his same old con. His same old con. Doubling down on ugly, misogynistic, racist lies as a substitute for real ideas and solutions that will actually make people
Real
lives
ideas.
better. Look, because cutting our health care,
Real ideas. They mentioned Trump's name 147 times yesterday. They talked about inflation 3 times. No. They've got the real ideas. You're right. No. You're right.
those things are not going to improve the health outcomes of our wives, mothers, and daughters. Shutting
And who
down
pays for all
the
that crap?
Department of Education, banning our books, none of that.
Banning our books. No. We want third graders to look at blowjobs. You're right. We want preschoolers to look at vaginas. It's and scissoring
Doesn't
and.
make anybody's life better. Instead, it only makes us small. And let me tell you this, going small is never the answer. Going small is the opposite of what we teach our kids. Going
Thomas
small
Crooks took
is
this advice.
petty,
She's
it's
right.
unhealthy, and
She's
quite
right.
frankly, it's unpresidential.
Right. I mean, yes, that's what Thomas Crooks did. You're right. That's what their party is.
So, why would any of us
Rasmussen Reports Twitter
accept
account has a
this from
brand new
anyone
chart.
seeking
Is
our
it good?
highest office? Why would we normalize that type of backward leadership? Doing so only demeans
Oh, come on,
and
dude.
cheapens
Really?
our politics. It only serves to further discourage good, big-hearted people from wanting to get involved at all. America, Our parents taught us better than that, and we deserve so much better than that. That's why we must do everything in our power to elect 2 of those good, big-hearted people. There is no other choice than Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. No other choice. But as we embrace this renewed sense of hope, let us not forget the despair we have felt. Let us not
Trump
forget
up 10? That's bullshit. There's no way.
Yes, Kamala and Tim are doing great now. We're loving it. They're packing arenas across the country. Folks are energized. We are feeling good. But remember, there are still so many people who are
Is that poll legit or no?
Who are ready to question and criticize every move Kamala makes, who are eager to spread those lies, who don't want to vote for a woman.
I mean, though, of course the crowd will buy it. It's a bunch of liberals.
Prioritize building their wealth over ensuring that everyone has enough. So no matter how good we feel tonight or tomorrow or the next day, this is going to be an uphill battle. So folks, we cannot be our own worst enemies. No. See, because the minute something goes wrong,
here comes the speech. We all got to come together. Yeah.
Folks, we cannot start wringing our hands. We cannot get a Goldilocks complex about whether everything is just right. And we cannot indulge our anxieties about whether this country will elect someone like Kamala.
What is she talking about? She's just rambling about coming together
someone like Kamala elected.
They discuss her policies or just attack Trump. It's more so been
Kamala
not a ton on the policies. It's been about hope and coming together, and then they'll attack Trump. That's kind of how these speeches go. And then they finish it off with hope.
I am confident that they will lead.
And they're trying to get the emphasis on the party has to come together.
And
but I mean, this is typical convention stuff.
They are still only human. They are not perfect.
Plus 10 was from their daily post, but yeah, wild outlier.
But luckily, y'all.
Really? So their daily post has it plus 10 right now?
Oh,
dude.
This is up
that's
to
amazing
us,
to see if that's
all
true.
Of us to be the solution that we seek. It's up to all of us to be the antidote to the darkness and division. Look, I don't care how you identify politically, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, or none of the above. This is our time to stand up for what we know in our hearts is right.
Hey man, I think, listen man, I know you've got your shift at Wendy's coming up. I want you need go to your shift at Wendy's, man. I don't want you to miss it.
Basic freedoms, but for decency and humanity, for basic respect, dignity, and empathy, for the values at the very foundation of this democracy. It's up to us
it's just the same crap that you hear with every politician.
Don't just sit around.
They said Barack was going to speak at 10.
Something.
Or maybe it was her.
If they lie about her, and they will, we've got to do something. If we see a bad poll, and we will, we got to put down that phone and do something. If we start feeling tired, if we start feeling that dread creeping back in, we got to pick ourselves up, throw water on our face, and what? We only have 2.5 months, y'all, to get this done.
Dude, no, I heard that line from someone. I had to use it
weeks
on some
to make sure every
dumbass
person
loser
we
troll
know is registered and has a voting plan. So we cannot afford for
she looked at the Rasmussen poll.
Anyone American
I gotta see if this Rasmussen poll is legitimate.
To be called. Don't complain if no one from the campaign has specifically.
Man, how many freaking Yankees things am I gonna get? Jesus Christ.
There is simply no time for that kind of.
Yeah, there it is right there. Oh my goodness.
What you need to do.
Yeah, this has got to be an outlier. You don't go from 2 to 10.
Your official ass.
You don't go from 2 to 10.
Michelle Obama is asking you. No, I'm.
This is a crazy poll for sure.
Do something.
This is still going on. Oh my god. That's a plus 10 poll.
Because you all, this election is going to be close. In some states,
do something about the border.
A handful, listen to me, a handful of votes in every precinct could decide the winner. So we need to vote in numbers that erase any doubt.
The RFK bump? I don't think that's what it would be. They already had to have polled already without the RFK stuff coming up.
Our fate
do something
is
like
in
doing something to the border?
In 77 days,
doing something to the inflation? I mean, I guess they tried to address that.
Our country away from the fear, division, and smallness of the past. We have the power to marry our hope with our action. We have the power to pay forward the love, sweat, and sacrifice of our mothers and fathers and all those who came before us. We did it before y'all,
come on, man.
and
Let's
we
get to
sure
Barack
can
at
do
least.
it again. Let us work like our lives depend on it.
It's probably more like Trump plus 4.
let us keep
Well, yeah, there's
moving
obviously a
our
surge for
country
Trump, but that poll is
forward
pretty
and go
erroneous, and they
higher.
admitted it. It's probably like
Yes,
plus 3, plus 4.
always higher
They said it's probably about
than
plus 3,
we've
plus
ever
4.
gone before as we elect the next president and vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Thank you all. God bless.
And we're going to have to hear 5 minutes of applause now. Oh, I guess there's more.
Now, before I go,
It's enough. Come on.
I have one more job tonight.
Introduce Barack. It's so obvious.
One more job. You all, thank you for all the love, but it is now my honor to introduce somebody who knows a whole lot about hope. Someone who has spent his life strengthening our democracy, and let me tell you, as someone who lives with him, he wakes up every day, and thinks about what's best for this country. Please welcome
It's
America's
so obvious.
44th
I mean,
president and the love of my life, Barack.
we gotta wait 5 minutes for applause. Let's see what Barack has to say. Poly market. Let me give it an update. It still says 52-47. I mean, Trump. Yeah, that poll, that Rasmussen poll, that's only gonna help. Dude, Barack looks angry. Why does Barack look so angry right now? Is this a Biden 2.0?
Hello, Chicago!
Barack, why aren't you staying for Kamala's speech? Oh, man. The simps are out. The Obama simps are loving this. It's orgasm time.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I don't know. I mean, the speculation with RFK affecting that poll, it seems unlikely because that poll would have been done earlier, I think, than the RFK news that came out. Dark Obama. Dark Barack.
No, that's enough. Thank you, thank you. Chicago!
He looks good. He looks the same. He does.
It is good to be home, and I don't know about you, but I'm feeling fired up.
Can University of Georgia take away their players' license? They need to do something. That's a mess. What's going on there?
Ready to go. Even if I am the only person stupid enough to speak after Michelle Obama. feeling hopeful because this convention
Here it is.
has
Hope.
always been pretty good to kids with funny names who believe
Remember when Vivek said that?
Anything is possible.
Wait, I'm a skinny guy with a funny name.
We have a chance to elect someone who has spent her entire life trying to give people the same chances America gave her. Someone who sees you and hears you and will get up every single day and fight for you. The next president of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
Oh, there they are. They're the cat women.
It's been 16 years since I had the honor of accepting this party's nomination for president.
This is going to be a long speech, you can tell.
That's hard to believe because
Hope over under is 9. Immigration over under is
but it's true.
0.5.
And looking back, I can say without question that my first big decision as your nominee turned out to be one of my best. And that was asking Joe Biden to serve by my side as vice president.
That's why you forced him out? I mean, Barack, you turned on him, you forced him out. You wanted Mark Kelly.
Other than some common Irish blood, Joe and I
mean, that's a nice shout out, I'll be honest.
But we became brothers. And as we worked together for
And Joe's already in California.
Sometimes pretty tough years. What I came to admire most about Joe wasn't just his smarts, his experience. It was his empathy and his decency and his hard-earned resilience, his unshakable belief that everyone in this country deserves a fair shot.
Gaslighting. Dude, I remember when I used to say gaslighting. Yeah, there's so much gaslighting in politics. That is true.
And over the last 4 years, those are the values.
Obama is Irish now. Apparently, he's got some
most.
Irish blood, I guess.
At a time when millions of our fellow citizens were sick and dying, we needed a leader with the character to put
He ain't
politics
Irish.
aside
Yeah, they probably
and
do an
what was
ancestry. He's 0.1%.
right. At a time when our economy was reeling, we needed a leader with
I
the
gotta do an
determination to
Ancestry.com
drive
thing.
what would become the world's strongest recovery. 15 million jobs, higher wages, lower health care costs.
Oh, the live stream, Daniel.
At a time
C-SPAN
when
had
the
a
other
live stream
party
6 hours on a beach with Biden.
had turned into
And
a
Biden's just
cult
like
of
bathing.
personality. We needed a leader who was steady and brought people together and was selfless enough to do the rarest thing there is in politics, putting his own ambition aside for the sake of the country.
Gonna bounce, but good stream.
History
Yeah, man.
will
I think it'll be
remember
better
Joe
tomorrow
Biden
with
as
Waltz.
an outstanding president who
If we get a commie bow, it'll be better.
democracy at a moment of great danger. And I am proud to call him my president, but I am even prouder to call him my friend.
All right, the tribute to Biden after you wanted to kick him out.
Now, the torch has been passed. Now it is up to all of us to fight for the America we believe in. And make no mistake, it will be a fight. For all the incredible energy we've been able to generate over the last few weeks, for all the rallies and the memes, this will still be a tight
The
race
left can't meme.
in a closely divided country. A country where too many
Why do white
Americans
people vote
are still
for
struggling.
the Dems anyways? A lot of white guilt mainly.
Where a lot of Americans don't believe government can help. And as we gather here tonight, the people who will decide this election or ask
He
you a
literally
very
hates
simple
Biden.
question.
Yeah, this is what they do. This is why politics is so fake.
Who will fight for
We've
me?
heard for months that he's been seething and
Who's
trying to get
thinking
Biden out. Now
about
Biden's the greatest
my
thing
future,
ever. He's my
about
brother.
my children's future, about our future together. One thing is for certain, Donald Trump is not losing sleep over that question. Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator.
Oh my God, the escalator
It has been
again.
a constant
Jesus
stream
Christ.
of gripes and
I mean, the escalator's a star tonight. No, I think the escalator's a star. The escalator is the star.
There's the childish nicknames. The crazy.
Just like calling people weird.
theories.
Is that childish? Is calling people weird childish?
This weird obsession with crowd sizes.
I saw another thing where they lied about Trump's crowd size on Saturday in Pennsylvania.
It just goes on and on and on.
You made a movie about nuclear
The other day
war.
I heard someone compare Trump to the neighbor who keeps running his leaf blower outside your window every minute.
The golden shower. The golden escalator. The fifth realm.
Now, from a neighbor, that's exhausting.
Yeah, this dude's got multiple mansions, man. Come on.
It's just dangerous. The truth is, Donald Trump sees power as nothing more than it means to his ends.
He's talking about me.
The price for another
About the
huge
AI
tax
crowd
cut
sizes.
That would mostly help him and his rich friends. He killed a
No.
immigration deal written.
Oh, dude, I can't even respond to all of this because I'm gonna talk over him.
That would have helped secure our southern border because he thought trying to actually solve the problem would hurt his campaign.
They had the problem solved.
He doesn't
Biden repealed all of it.
vote.
I'm not even gonna do it anymore. Yeah, let's sign a border policy giving all of them amnesty and money to Ukraine. That's really about the border.
Women lose their reproductive freedom since it won't affect his life. And most of all, Donald Trump wants us to think that this country is hopelessly divided between us and them, between the real Americans, who of course support him, and the outsiders who don't.
Well, yeah, your party hates America. Why do you want George Washington statues taken down?
If you will
I mean,
just give him
that's
the power
admitted
to
they
put
hate
those
the founding
people
fathers. They think they're all racist.
It is one of the oldest tricks in politics. From a guy whose act has, let's face it, gotten pretty stale. We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before.
No, we don't have chaos right now. Millions of uncounted immigrants, FBI admitting immigrants, some of them probably on the terrorist watch list in the country. We don't have chaos. We got World War III coming soon. Biden just allowed us to use nukes. There's no chaos. You're right. There's only 4 wars going on now that Trump got out of office. You're right. There's no, you're right. There's no chaos.
And Kamala Harris is ready for the job.
Yeah, she definitely proved it with her primary victories.
This is a person who has spent her life fighting on behalf of people who need a voice and a champion.
As a prosecutor?
From Michelle, Kamala was not born into privilege. She had to work for what she's got. And she actually cares about what other people are going through. She's not the neighbor running the leaf blower. She's the neighbor rushing over to help when you need a hand.
They have been trying to say Trump's washed up. I've seen that.
Kamala stood up for children who had been victims of sexual abuse. As an attorney general of the most populous state in the country, She fought big banks and for-profit colleges, securing billions of dollars for the people they had scammed.
Yeah, she really fought all right.
She pushed me and my administration hard to make sure homeowners.
She worked Willie's Willie. That's well put.
That I was a Democrat.
That's how she
Didn't
fought.
matter that she had knocked on doors for my campaign in Iowa. She was going to fight to get as much relief as possible for the families who deserved it. As Vice President,
Her dad is a socialist, isn't he? A Marxist?
She'll take on
I think that was
drug
admitted.
companies to cap the cost of insulin, lower the cost of health care, give families with kids a tax cut. And she is running for president with real plans to lower costs even more and protect Medicare and Medicaid and sign a law to guarantee every woman's right to make her own health care decisions.
Barack, what does that mean, Barack? Tell us what it means. He lives in a $26 million beach house. Yeah.
Won't be focused
There's a shock.
on her problems. She'll be focused on yours. As president, she won't just cater to her own supporters and punish those who refuse to kiss the ring or bend the knee. She'll work on behalf of
There's a few liberals in the chat while they're getting destroyed with these polls that have come out. Oh, it's been a tough day.
And in the White House, she will have an outstanding.
Oh, ouch. It's been a tough day.
And Governor Tim Walz.
Tim Walz, the blubbering idiot, is being mentioned.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I love this guy.
Right, I mean, yeah, he's a buffoon.
Tim is the kind of person who should be in politics.
The commie bao.
Born in a small town.
The pure communist.
Served his country, taught kids, coached
Loves
football,
China.
Took care of his neighbors. He knows who he is, and he knows what's important. You can tell those flannel shirts.
Charles, your shift at McDonald's is starting. I don't want you to be distracted. Charles, I don't want to be. You don't need to be distracted. I'm sorry. You don't need to be distracted with my live stream. You're right. Your shift at McDonald's is starting. Have fun.
They have been through some stuff. That's right. Together, Kamala and Tim have kept faith with America's central story. A story that says we are all created.
Obama's going for a fourth term. The chat is right.
All of us endowed with certain inalienable rights, that everyone deserves a chance, that even when we don't agree with each other,
it is so fun.
That's Kamala's vision. That's Tim's vision. That's the Democratic Party's vision. And our job over the next 11 weeks is to convince as many people as possible to vote for that vision. Now, it won't be easy. The other side knows it's easier to play on people's fears and cynicism, always has been. They will tell you that government is inherently corrupt, that sacrifice and generosity.
I think both parties admit the government is corrupt.
And since the game is rigged, it's okay to take what you want and just look after your own.
What does that even mean?
That's the easy path. We have a different task.
There's really not an easy path without what inflation is in housing.
Democracy can actually deliver. And in doing that, we can't just point to what we've already accomplished. We can't just rely on the ideas of the past. We need to chart a new way forward to meet the challenges of today.
Nice emoji.
And Kamala understands this. She knows, for example, that if we want to make it easier for more young people to buy a home, we need to build more units and clear away some of the outdated laws and regulations that made it harder to build homes for working people in this country. That is a priority.
Let's just drive up the
insurance.
Let's just drive up the interest rates more. Let's give $25K to the immigrants and first generation. You know, here it is.
On health care, we should all be proud of the enormous progress that we've made through the Affordable Care Act.
Here's him trying
providing millions
to
of
failed
people
Obamacare.
access to affordable coverage, protecting millions more from unscrupulous insurance practices. I noticed, by the way, that
I'll be honest.
It's become popular. They don't call it Obamacare no more.
I've been to a hospital once. I mean, it is ridiculous
But
how much they charge it.
Kamala knows we can't stop there, which is why she'll keep working to limit out-of-pocket costs. Kamala knows that if we want to help people
I mean,
get ahead,
how are we able to afford all of this? Oh, wait, a 50% capital
within
gains tax.
reach of more Americans. But she also knows college shouldn't be the only ticket to the middle class. We need to follow the lead of governors like Tim Walz, who said, if you've got the skills and the drive, you shouldn't need a degree to work for state government. And in this new economy, we need a president who actually
Did he just say you shouldn't need a degree? I thought the libs were obsessed with getting degrees.
All across this country who wake up every single day to do the essential, often thankless work.
That's mainly
to care
Republicans.
For our sick.
That's
to
blue
clean
collar.
our streets, to deliver our packages. We need a
you're right.
president who will
Yes,
stand
yes.
up for their right to bargain for better wages.
Yes,
and working
Republicans, you're
conditions.
right.
And Kamala
Those are
will be
blue collar
that
Republican
president.
jobs. Here comes the union, even though Trump's apparently got more support now with the union.
Yes, she can.
It's like what is this? Yes, she can. Like who gets inspired by that?
Yes, she can. A Harris-Walz administration
4 more years.
can help us move past some of the tired old debates that keep stifling progress. Because at their core, Kamala and Tim understand that when everybody gets a fair shot, we are all better off. They
Well,
understand
what about
that
equity that
when
she
every
wants?
child gets a good education, the whole economy gets stronger. When women are paid the same as men for doing the same job,
Oh my God,
all
here it
families
is.
benefit.
You get paid the same if you do as good a job. You get paid the same if you do as good a job. But
They
no, that's sexist
understand
now.
that we can secure our borders without tearing kids away from their parents.
Yeah, we're gonna
Just
secure
like
our borders.
We can keep our streets safe
with libs
while
running the country.
Also building trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve, and eliminating
But your
bias.
party wanted to
That
defund
will
the
make
law enforcement,
it
I thought.
better for everybody.
The commie bow.
Donald Trump and his
I'm
well-heeled
missing Tim
donors,
Walz, man.
they don't see the world that way. For them, one group's gains is necessarily another group's loss.
They are for equity. That's what she said.
For them, freedom means that the powerful can do pretty much what they please. Whether it's fire workers trying to organize a union, or put
Elon Musk firing all the
poison in our
employees.
rivers, or
That didn't do
avoid
shit.
paying taxes like everybody else has to do.
We'll be paying a lot of taxes now.
We have a broader idea of freedom. We believe in the freedom to provide
Obama
for your
kids in
family
cages. Right, he
if
started
you're
the whole
willing to work
policy.
hard.
But then they're like, oh,
The
he did
freedom to
it better.
breathe clean air
They didn't
and
get
drink
separated.
Clean water and send your kids to school without worrying if they'll come home. We believe that true freedom.
Yeah, Obama
is
did build the
each of
cages,
us
but they
the
try
right
and
to
argue
make
it and say it's
decisions
different.
About our own life, how we worship.
In
what
2014,
our
that
family
policy
looks
went
like,
in.
How many kids
His
we
second
have,
term.
who we marry. And we believe that freedom requires us to recognize that other people have the freedom to make choices that are different than ours. That's okay. That's
But we don't need it. We don't need it broadcast over everything like the gay pride sidewalks and everything like that.
An America where
You can do whatever
we
you
the
want, but
people
when it gets broadcast
includes
everywhere.
everyone. Because that's the only way this American experiment works. And despite what our politics might suggest, I think most Americans understand that. Democracy isn't just a bunch of abstract principles and dusty laws in some book somewhere. It's the values we live by. It's the way we treat each other, including those who don't look like us, or pray like us, or see the world exactly like we do.
I mean, that is why Trump's got like 40% black male support. It's the highest ever.
That sense of mutual respect has to be part of our message. Our politics have become so polarized these days that all of us across the political spectrum seem so quick to assume the worst in others, unless they agree with us on every single issue. We start thinking that the only way to win is to scold and shame and out-yell the other side. And after a while, regular folks just tune out, or they don't bother to vote. Now, that approach may work for the politicians who just want attention and thrive on division, but it won't work for us to make progress on the things we care about.
It's a uniting speech here at the end.
The things that really affect people's lives.
Who's speaking tomorrow, Waltz?
We need to remember that we've all got our blind spots.
I think Bill Clinton probably as well.
Contradictions and prejudices. And that if we want to win over those who aren't yet ready to support our candidates, we need to listen to their concerns and maybe learn something in the process.
You mean like not getting the jab? No. You had to get the jab, but when it comes to an abortion, you should be able to. But you're forced to get the jab if you want to keep your job.
We don't automatically assume they're bad people. We recognize that the world is moving fast, that they need time and maybe a little encouragement to catch up. Our fellow citizens deserve the same grace we hope they'll extend to us.
He's referencing Republicans. Elon Musk is the biggest innovator in the world. He's now a Republican. You realize that, right? But no. We need to catch up. We've got the biggest innovator.
That's how we can build a true Democratic majority. One that can get things done. And by the way, that does not just matter to the people in this country. The rest of the world is watching to see if we can actually pull this off.
Europe definitely wants Democrats to win. You're right. No, he's right. He is right. I mean, NATO can walk over the United States if there's a Democrat in office.
No society
has
ever tried to build a democracy as big and as diverse as ours before. One that includes people that over decades have come from every corner of the globe.
Yep, there it is.
One where our allegiances and our community are defined not by race or blood, but by a common creed. And that's why when we uphold our values, the world's a little brighter. When we don't, the world's a little dimmer. And dictators and autocrats feel emboldened. And over time, we become less safe.
He's being condescending towards Trump supporters.
We shouldn't be the world's policemen.
He's saying they're slower.
We can't eradicate every cruelty and injustice in the world. But America can be and must be a force for good. Discouraging conflict, fighting disease, promoting human rights.
Discouraging conflict. Oh my God.
Protecting the planet from climate change. Defending freedom. Brokering peace. That's
oh my God, brokering peace.
And so do most Americans.
Yeah, it's been such a peaceful world under Biden. That's the closing speech, really? No, he's got more apparently.
I know these ideas can feel pretty naive right now. We live in a time of such confusion and rancor, with a culture that puts a premium on things that don't last. Money, fame, status, likes.
No. Money doesn't matter, but you live in a
$30
million mansion. You're right. Money doesn't matter.
We build all manner of walls and fences around ourselves, and then we wonder why we feel so alone. We don't trust each other as much because we don't take the time to know each other.
Do you think Obama isn't as good at speaking as he used to be?
Us,
I think it's similar.
Politicians and algorithms.
I mean, you can tell he's angling.
Teach us to
this speech is a lot more nuanced than the typical what the Democrats are doing. I'll say that.
And fear each other. But here's the good news, Chicago. All across America, in big cities and small towns, away from all the noise.
It's like listening to a 2-hour sermon. Yeah.
The ties that bind us together are still there. We still coach Little League and look out for our elderly neighbors. We still feed the hungry in churches and mosques and synagogues and temples.
I think this is the grand finale, the uniting grand finale.
When our Olympic athletes compete for the gold. Because the vast majority of us do not want to live in a country that's bitter and divided. We want something better. We want to be better. And the joy,
that's the uniting speech at the end.
That we're seeing around this campaign tells us we're not alone. You know, I've spent a lot of time thinking about these past few months because, as Michelle mentioned, this summer we lost her mom, Ms. Marion Robinson. And I don't know that anybody has ever loved their mother-in-law any more than I love mine. Mostly it's because she was funny.
Talks like Josh Shapiro. I really haven't heard. I mean, I did hear Josh Shapiro once, but.
And the least pretentious person I knew. That, and she always defended me with Michelle when I messed up. I'd hide behind
If
her.
Obama was just another white man who spoke well, white liberals wouldn't put up. Yeah, I agree, generally. Well, I mean, to be fair, he did win twice, if we're being honest.
But I also think
Do you
one
think
of the reasons
night 2 was good enough to positively affect
Mary and
the
I
Dems?
became so close.
Well, the narrative here is going to be they're going to say Obama hit it out of the park, I guarantee it. Obama's been speaking for like 30 minutes now.
Child.
He's trying to do the uniter speech at the end.
And on the surface, the two of them did not have a lot in common. One was a black woman from right here, south side.
I don't think it's going to help a ton. I mean, look at what happened to the polls. I mean, it's a disaster for them.
Went to Englewood High
They're flailing, and now they're getting really desperate.
The other was a little old white lady born in a tiny town called Peru, Kansas. Now, I know there aren't that many people from Peru.
Can we get the story?
And yet they shared a basic outlook on life. They were strong, smart, resourceful women, full of common sense, who, regardless of the barriers they encountered, and women growing up in the 40s and 50s and 60s, they encountered barriers.
Dude,
they still went about their business.
They give him some type of nasty thing when he gets going.
And provided an unshakable foundation of love for their children and their grandchildren.
I know they're losing it on Poly Market. They've lost it.
In that sense, they both represented
Trump is surging.
An entire generation of working people who, through war and depression, discrimination, and
yeah, what were they laughing at there?
Helped build this country. A lot of them toiled every day at jobs that were often too small for them and didn't pay a lot.
I got to get high to tolerate this shit.
They willingly went without.
I got to have better posture, I'm sorry.
Keep a roof over their families' heads, just to give their children something better. But they knew what was true. They knew what mattered. Things like honesty and integrity, kindness,
if someone repeats the same message 15 times, depends how fast they're putting it in the chat. Like if it's every 15 seconds, then yeah, that's fine.
They weren't impressed with braggarts or bullies. They didn't think putting other people down lifted you up.
Braggart, there's a word I haven't heard in a while.
They didn't spend a lot of time
What an
obsessing
intelligent
about
young man.
what they didn't have. Instead, they appreciated what they did. They found pleasure in simple things. A card game with friends, a good meal, and laughter around
Where did the
kitchen
Trump
table.
surge come from? The sugar high wearing
Helping
off
others.
and apparently RFK
And most
possibly
of all,
endorsing Trump
seeing
might
their
have a little
children
bit to do with it.
do things and go places that they would have never imagined for themselves.
Come on, let's.
Whether you are a Democrat or a Republican or somewhere in between,
Here's the uniter. Whether you're
we
a Democrat
have
or
all
Republican.
had people like that in our lives. People like Kamala's parents, who crossed oceans because they believed in the promise of America. People like Tim's parents, who taught him about the importance of service.
They taught about the stolen
Good,
valor.
hard-working people who weren't famous or powerful, but who managed in countless ways to leave this country just a little bit better than they found it. As much as any
If
policy,
RFK, no, he shouldn't do it in
program,
October because there's so much early voting now.
I
He
believe
should do it
that's
earlier
what we
than
aim
that.
for.
I know what you're
A
saying, like
return
do it
to
and
an
then get the
America
bump right before
where
the
we work
election,
together
but
and look out for each other. A restoration of what Lincoln called, on the eve of Civil War, our bonds of affection. An America that taps
here comes
what he
the
called
fake crying. We'll get it tomorrow with
the
Waltz,
better
don't worry.
angels of our nature. That is what this election is about. And I believe that's why if we each do our part over the next 77 days, if we knock on doors, if we make phone calls, if we talk to our friends, if we listen to our neighbors,
Kamala should have done that in 2019 during her
if
primary
we
run.
work like
Maybe she
we've
would have
never
won.
worked before,
Who knows? Maybe she would have made it to Iowa.
if we
We'll never know, I
hold
guess.
firm to our convictions,
We need a September surprise. Yeah,
we will
it doesn't
elect
hit the same though
Kamala
as
Harris
October
as the
surprise.
next president of the United States, and Tim Walz as the next vice president of the United States. We will elect leaders up and down the ballot.
You know what this reminded me of?
Who will fight
The dude that Tucker
for the
Carlson had on
hopeful,
that said that him and Obama had
America we
sex.
all believe in. And
Do you guys
together,
remember that?
We too will build a country that is more secure and more just
The dude
More
Tucker
equal.
Carlson had on.
and more free. So let's get to work. God bless you. And God bless the United States.
There it is right there. Yeah, who was that dude? Who was that dude? Yeah, Kennedy. Alex Jones has the scoop. Kennedy's endorsing Trump on Friday. Larry Sinclair. You're right. Oh, man. Dude, that was a hilarious clip. I saw that. I have to react to that clip again. I wonder. There was a specific clip on where they condensed the interview down to like 2 minutes. It was the funniest thing. I might react to that tomorrow if I can find it. Yeah, well, here comes the liberal media. Best speech ever. Get ready for it. Right, we got more music. Well, guys, I think we're that was what it is.
Please stand.
That was what it was.
For this evening's benediction, offered by Bishop Samuel.
All right, guys, I think that's gonna do it. Yeah, that's gonna do it, guys.
Archbishop Alpida
I
Forrest,
will. We've got Tim Waltz. That's gonna be a big one.
Diocese of America.
Tim Waltz tomorrow. That's gonna be a big one. I think maybe Bill Clinton. Does anyone else know who's speaking tomorrow? Is Bill Clinton tomorrow?
Of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far along the way, you are the one who bruised over the days of our lives, and without
I think this is the ending church ceremony.
nothing. So we lift our hopes and hearts to thee, and we pause tonight to say thank you. Thank you for loving us. Thank you
Yep.
for not giving up.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you for giving this nation the benefits of
Pete
your
and
mercy.
Nancy. Yeah, you're right, Pelosi.
Can feel that
Pete Buttigieg.
enthusiastic is rising in the soul of America. And all of us can tell that the tyranny of resentment has finally met its